right on top of, don't say Hard Rock Stadium, Dominique. It's Miami Stadium. FIFA, they will come after you if you call it Hard Rock Stadium. We were warned about the alien invasion. We're here. We're doing just fine. We'll get an update on the alien invasion in a little bit here.
I mean, that's what we think.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you've seen lots of alien movies. There's a distinct possibility that you are the only person that's actually here, and all of us have been replaced.
Oh.
The alien invasion happened. You got your memory wiped. We are now all aliens. You don't even realize it.
Do you have a favorite alien movie?
I mean, it's Independence Day, hands down.
The first or the second?
Either Independence Day or Arrival. Arrival's a great alien movie.
Arrival is such a good movie.
If I'm trying to impress you, I'm hit you with Arrival. It's like, yeah, I love Arrival. I watch it all the time. The ink blots that communicate, it's amazing.
A great movie.
It's so deep. But actually, if I'm sitting home alone, I want to see Will Smith go at it with them aliens.
Arrival's the one you tell Pablo you like?
Oh, yeah, Pablo, definitely. I see Pablo. He's like, what's your favorite alien movie? It's Arrival. It's so smart.
I mean, the end where you get the twist, you know, and no spoilers. Don't worry about that. That's a great movie.
You consider Interstellar an alien movie, or
No.
is that a space movie?
That's a space/time travel type movie.
Though there's an alien in it.
I know there is, but I don't know that you would consider it an alien movie,
An
right?
alien in Interstellar. Where's the alien?
The alien is when he's in the bookcase, like all the matter and all the stuff that's going around.
Do you
like, that's an
understand the
alien.
movie?
Hey, open your
You haven't
your
watched it
mind.
clearly.
Okay, no.
You clearly haven't watched the movie.
You're showing your ass. All right. There's no alien in Interstellar, and now we know you don't even understand the movie.
I think it's too deep for you. I think Tony understands the deeper meaning of
Hold
the
on,
movie.
Steve. It's too deep for me. You just said.
I think Tony's a little too deep for you.
Are you nuts? You're nuts, man.
I think Tony's a little too deep.
Where's the alien in Interstellar?
I'll look it up right now. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Okay. Can't wait for that.
What's your favorite alien movie?
Don't
say Superman. You're gonna say Superman or something like that.
He is an alien.
I knew you seem like a curveball type of guy.
My favorite alien movie?
Uh-huh.
Aliens.
The
Come
sequel,
on.
huh?
Yeah, no, the sequel's better. See, the first one is Alien. The sequel is Aliens. That's the better one. Now, I do like the third one. Rock's in the third one. Now, I'm not talking about The Rock. I'm talking about Charles S.
That's
Dutton.
Rock.
Rock.
Yeah,
All
that's only
right.
Rock I know.
Yeah, Rock is in the third one, and that's a good one, too.
Eleanor.
The aliens that construct the wormhole near Saturn and the Tesseract inside
Okay,
the
but the
black
alien's
hole
not
are
in the movie, though.
they're future humans that are aliens that are fixing.
But they're not in the movie.
You didn't hear what I said, obviously.
You can't have the movie without the aliens, so they're aliens in the movie.
Also, his Google AI search brought back aliens in air quotes.
Just say you're wrong.
How could I be
Just
wrong?
say you don't. You know what? You don't have to say you're wrong. Just say you don't understand.
You got to
the
be
movie.
wrong when you said like the quote aliens are humans.
They're
That
future humans, but
That's
they're
not,
alien to
no,
us.
That you can't be alien.
What
to
do you guys?
us?
What do you think aliens are? Just little green men? That's all aliens are?
I
guys?
know
Histori-
I
yeah.
know they're little.
I know what
green
they
men.
are.
Yeah, historically.
Do you like Alien Resurrection? Ron Perlman's in that one. Winona Ryder. Spoiler alert. She's one of like the robots. I'll tell you what though. Alien Romulus. That's a proper alien movie. That's very good too. But to answer your question, Dominique, Aliens. That's my favorite alien movie.
I got to be honest with you. I'm aware of all the Alien and Aliens movies. I've probably seen a couple of them. I don't love it.
Sigourney Weaver, original heroine, all-time great action movie heroine, right? Sigourney Weaver. She's the OG of female action heroes, right?
With the Baldy, right? That was the.
Well, she was bald in the third one, the one with Rock.
Oh.
Yeah, because she's in a prison.
I feel like that's the one that stands out in my mind. That's the iconic moment. That and jumping out the chest.
Well, of course.
That's the only.
Of course.
Is Rhea Ripley named after her character in Alien? Because that was like the first ever badass lady hero.
You know what? I never thought about that, and I think you're probably right. Because she is, right? You can't come up with another one, right? Sigourney Weaver is the OG action hero that's a female. You had Linda Hamilton afterward, of course, with Terminator, but that's a good 10 years later after Alien. All right. There you go.
Woman. I mean, yeah, it's,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
a lot of,
Both are true.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Oh yeah, we're all working on it. No one's holding you to a higher standard. Just
Got to get better every day.
Yeah, every day. You got to work harder.
Yeah.
If you're not
Shame
getting
on you
better,
for calling out progress.
Yeah.
that's on
trying
me.
here.
So I got to get better every day too. You're not
trying
getting
here.
better. You're getting worse, and that's on me. I got to write a note. Got to write a note. You're better off saying woman, because sometimes people think female feel like you're talking about an animal.
He'll file it away, but we can all acknowledge he's trying to get better.
He's trying.
He took your feedback.
It's in
And
the suggestion
I
box.
think it's my fault too, because
It is.
that's a very specific sector. I feel like the criticism of using female is very hip hop coded. It's like that was a thing that was said a lot. It was like, hey, these females, and I mean, I don't know if you know Zaz. Zaz don't know about the hip hop.
Yeah, I try my best.
I don't.
I'll stop before I'm going to say, and the Grammy goes to the best woman recording artist.
And then you're proud of yourself.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself, and that sounds so much better and smoother than female recording artists. Oh, ew! Why would I do that?
Nice job.
No, I wouldn't do that. I'm an ally. Recording artist, that's a woman.
So you could hear Mike Ryan is back today.
Yay.
Mike Ryan spending the last few days in Guadalajara. And before we get to your World Cup updates there, I do want to update you, Mike Ryan. Giannis, he's on the Heat.
I saw that. Saw that. And it's pretty much just him at this point.
Are you excited? Like yes,
Hugely.
We checked in with you a couple of days ago when you were in your hotel, very luxurious hotel, may I add. But let's get some real reaction.
Yeah,
here.
because I had
Are
to
you
be-
excited?
Yeah, I didn't want to be a guy that immediately goes to negative town after they do what we've been
Dan!
begging for. Everybody else did that? Look, I mean, the roster has clear holes that they have to fill, and it's going to be a challenge for them to fill them, but you have much better building blocks right now. As I mentioned, I think that they're going to be ranked highly inside the Eastern Conference. I think the days of the play-in are over for now, even if they don't add, just because they're going to be an effort team. And the night-in, night-out grind of the NBA regular season, as Detroit kind of proved this year, if you're a pill to play, you're going to make the playoffs and you're not going to have to worry about the play-in. And defensively, they're going to be a force just with what they have on the roster right now. I do think the deck is a little stacked against them in terms of roster improvement this offseason.
This offseason.
This offseason, what I think they may make a move here or there. I mean, they're going to have to, right? The roster is pretty depleted. They need to put some shooters around their front court. But I think what the plan, unless I'm missing something obvious, I think that their best course of action is play this first half of the season, develop some guys into assets. Right now, Jovic is a sunk cost. And
Right now he's going to have to play.
yeah, he's going to have to play. Well, I mean, there's not many guys on the roster. By the way, shout out Trey Donaldson, signed with the Miami Heat, 2-way contract. He plays a kind of style that really fits this mold. I mean, you don't want to play the Miami Heat. From a defensive standpoint, it's going to be really hard to go up against these guys. That part is obvious. But I think the plan here is develop some guys, see what kind of value you can grow inside of individual players, and then wait for LaMelo Ball to just blow things up over Minnesota and go all in on Edwards?
Yeah, Mike mentions LaMelo Ball there, which if you stayed up late last night, you saw the reports are starting to come out where it appears Charlotte is going to be moving LaMelo Ball at some point here. We'll circle back to that in a second, but I'm glad you brought up the part, Mike, about how this offseason, because so much of the commentary that I'm seeing out there from folks on television is it's as if the Heat got Giannis for 1 year, and you got to do it all this year. They acquired Giannis for him to play the rest of his career here. That's the plan, okay? And realistically, you would think Giannis probably has a good 5 years left, I'd say, in his career. Now, I'm not saying necessarily 5 years of being a superstar, but at least 5 years left in his career. The plan is to have him the rest of his career. So, and it's kind of like when they acquired Shaq.
Right.
Now, yes, they were great right away with Shaq. They went to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. But when they fell short that year, then the next offseason, they made the big trades. They brought in Antoine Walker and James Posey and Jason Williams, and they redid the roster there. They didn't bring Giannis for 1 year. This is the first step, and it was the biggest step.
I think that what we have to understand, and I was rightfully corrected about, like, we can't, like, analyze this deal on just what they have on the roster now. Like, it's a big move. Celebrate the move. It gives them a chance that they didn't have before. But the challenging thing with the way that salaries work in the NBA and the way that aging works is as you get older, you are, like, able to get bigger and bigger contracts. There's a sweet spot where your talent and the compensation as a percentage of the cap match up. And I think that's the hard part right now is if you're going to keep Giannis, to your point, for the rest of his career, as he gets older, he continues to get more expensive. He also continues to get less effective. And that's the part that I think people are having a hard time reconciling is figuring out how long will we be paying Giannis what he's worth or getting value for him because he's so great that he outstretches his contract value, or will we get to the point where, all right, we're paying Giannis like he's the number one guy on a championship team, but he's no longer that good, and now we have to find other people to fit in around him that we will be underpaying. So that's it's like a condensed window. I don't know how many years it is. I don't want to get yelled at or piss off Heat fans, but it seems like depending on who you talk to, we're looking at a 5-year stretch for Giannis or a 2-3-year stretch for Giannis. And that's the big question.
Bam Adebayo is automatically the best player Giannis has ever played with, right? Now, before you want to say Damian Lillard, let's judge what Lillard did in his, 1+ season with Giannis.
Right now, his talent level, it's better than Chris Middleton at the peak of his powers.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. This is the best individual talent right now at this stage in his career that he's ever been paired with. That obviously wasn't the intention going into the Lillard thing, but we all saw what happened with Lillard.
Yeah, and we've been talking down here, hey, you got to get Bam Adebayo some help, and the Heat decided to make Bam the help, which is the best possible scenario. If you have a star player on your team and you keep we would have wanted, looking back at it in hindsight, instead of getting Jimmy Butler help, it would have been great to make Jimmy the help. But they were never able to do that. So they just did that now with Bam.
That was a talking point the entire time with Jimmy. We know what our ceiling is, and our ceiling's pretty damn high. It's Eastern Conference champion high, but just not good enough to win a championship with Jimmy Butler as your best player, Jimmy as your second best player. That's great. And for how great a season Bam had, I think we know what his ceiling is unless you get him more pieces around him.
I like being able. My son is asking me all of the machinations, the different machinations about the salary cap and what do they have enough money to do this? Can they do this? And I'm pulling up Bobby Marks's Twitter on my phone, and he puts out the graphics. They have this amount of money, and this guy's. And my son's like, well, what's the T stand for? I go, that's a team option. All right, and what's a team option? I explain what a team option is. I go, what? Why would Andrew Wiggins not want $30 million next? I go, because maybe he'll opt out and the Heat will give him more money over more years so they get to spend more money this year. I like being able to explain that stuff to my son.
Yeah, becoming a modern sports fan is also kind of like becoming a bit of an accountant.
It's so much more complicated now.
It's still fun. It's a different type of fun, but realizing what your team could do and hoping that that players will cooperate, it's a little bit fun, but it's also a little stressful. Like I miss the old days of the NBA where it's like, actually, you can do whatever you want as long as your owner's willing to pay. Like that feels like a much better place to be when you have a superstar.
I think the exciting proposition outside of finally making the big splashy whale acquisition is there's also a distinct possibility that Giannis can recapture previous form.
Yeah.
I think we've probably been a little too hard on Giannis a little bit, me in particular, just because they've kind of checked out on this season, and he certainly checked out, and he did a lot of off-the-court stuff that I hope gets buttoned up a little bit because there was a lot of diva behavior that I'm not sure fits in right now, but the Miami Heat can make some concessions
We
there.
could have said the same things about LeBron when LeBron got
here. We did, although this one's gotten a little uglier, and we'll see how he reacts to Miami after finally getting his way. Even though publicly it wasn't really his way. He was kind of caught in this in-between, still trying to stay popular in Milwaukee. But I do think that if Giannis is the guy that he was a couple of seasons ago, we're having a different conversation. I think we're all talking about the Miami Heat, expecting that the best of Giannis is probably behind him. And this is a franchise that has prided itself on development.
Why do you say the best of Giannis is probably behind us?
because he was unbelievable in an NBA Finals where everyone thought his leg snapped and then he came out and put up like all-time performances. Like it's a high standard. It is a very high watermark. You're talking about one of the most impactful forces in the history of the game. To hold him to that standard, north of 30, I understand why that's a tough row to hoe. But if he can recapture something like that, if he can stay healthy, and as to what you said earlier about him finishing his career here, yes, there are some flaws in his game. His shooting's probably going to go down over the course of time, although that's one of the things that can improve. We're all projecting that he's bad from the line. He does
Got to get better from the line.
He does have some deficiencies, but one thing that's always going to be there if his health is there is that guy can play well into his mid to late 30s just defensively. He is going to be a defensive force. Provided he can move, he is always going to have a role. He can move, he can dunk, he can defend.
Can I throw in there also that I think we have to accept that the NBA has been NFLized a little bit, in that there was a time, and for most of our lives, that it was like either you're the championship favorite or you're not winning a championship. Like it was 1, 2, maybe 3 teams that had a chance. We're not that way anymore. It feels like if you can get into the tournament now, you can make a run because of the injuries and because of like the harder cap, like the team, the talent is a little bit more spread out. So I feel like if we are projecting that Giannis is at his best and this team is able to build up a little bit around them, they're going to get into the playoffs. Obviously, everyone gets to the playoffs who wants to be in the playoffs in the NBA. And then it's like you actually have a better chance than you have in the past. And I think it's taken us some time, or I can speak for myself, it's taken me some time to accept that the NBA Finals is not the foregone conclusion that it used to be.
There's parity in the NBA, like complete and utter parity. Last 8 champions or 9 champions have been a different team, right? Like that used to never happen. We saw the Spurs win 5. We saw the Warriors win 4. We saw the Heat win back-to-back. Like that doesn't exist anymore. Now, like you said, Dominique, if you get into the tournament, there's a chance that the war of attrition in the West, that if people get hurt in the East, all of a sudden you're in the NBA Finals. You're like, how did we get here? We just beat kind of nobody, and like now we're here and we're healthy.
I think the Pacers making it to a Game 7 last year is like the best possible example of that. And like you don't have to go far, just got to cross the street to see a team that's like made deep runs with a low seed unexpected. So I think that's part of it. I'm having a hard time realizing that like normally in NBA history, I know who won. I know that it's going to be one of 2 or 3 teams. I wouldn't have picked the Knicks before this season started. I think most of us wouldn't have. So I think that's another part of this that we have to kind of wrap our heads around, and that adds to the excitement. Like I'm a lot more excited about this team when I look at the recent history of NBA champions.
Jeremy, you are back in studio with us today. Do you have any observations from yesterday's show?
Yeah, I do. A few things that got said, I just kind of took notes as we went along. So,
all right, let's hear.
You talked about watching sex scenes with your son. I remember on Christmas Day.
When you say it like that, it sounds like we are purposely sitting down to watch sex scenes together.
That's right.
And that is not what we're doing.
I mean, it does sound like you are.
All right, continue.
I remember going to see Wolf of Wall Street on Christmas Day with my dad and exchanging the same look.
With Margot Robbie.
My man.
But that's you know what was the worst experience for me when I was with my parents like that and watching a movie, and I'm probably 15 years old maybe, and I'm watching with both my parents. We're watching at home Silence of the Lambs. Obviously a all-time great movie. But the scene where Buffalo Bill shows his mangina, that's tough with your parents. That's tough.
Did you look over like?
No, I try and just like I'm trying my hardest to pretend I'm the only one in the room.
Dom said holding space, and it just always makes me think of the Wicked press tour where Cynthia Erivo was holding Ariana Grande's finger. It was a very weird thing. Do I, as you say, Dom, got the lev?
My man.
Yes.
Wow. Really?
I ain't got no love.
You don't think I was born with the lev?
Upset.
I think you have the lev depending on where you are. I feel like if you are like...
When he's at Lone Depot Park, he's got a lev.
Oh, a lot of lev at Lone Depot.
Lot of lev.
I feel like I'm looking at you today, and I'm like amongst like college students, nerdy, like the Ivy League, the super nerdy. They look at you, and they're like, hey, that guy's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that. So
My man.
all of us in different. So there's plenty of circumstances where I don't got no lev. There are other circumstances where I'm leved up. And so you just got to be in the right circumstances. I think here in this building, It's tough to get some love.
That's fair. That's fair. Thank you, Zaz, for giving Tyler Hero his flowers.
My man.
Roy
Still
bringing
doesn't
up
make it the all-time roster, though.
Roy bringing up the idea of the trade being rescinded because of a physical. Roy, I hate you.
My man.
Dominique, you were issued a penalty and you apologized to your family. It's pronounced flamily, and that was a mistake by you. What's it called when you're racist against aliens? Republican. Uptown Pale is one of the funniest things I've ever heard you say.
My man.
You guys think I have too much enunciation, but then we're making fun of me for not enough pronunciation, and I'm just feeling some consternation.
So I thought this isn't 5.
First time I've ever heard Dominique sound insecure was talking about looks maxing and mogging, and you were actually right about what you were saying, which is wild.
My man.
Jessica's Internet Minute, just bad day for me not to be here. Talking about Club Chalamet.
My
I
man.
knew exactly what she was talking about, unsurprisingly. And I found it very interesting. 2 of Juju's most influential fans were Steve Bartman and the Purple Shirt Guy. And those are both South Florida things. Like, we've had some really weird fan experiences.
My
And
man.
Dominique, you won't believe the Heat will win until they have a closer. Sir, can I interest you in LeBron James?
My man.
So you're doing the thing, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm
Where
doing the thing.
You're doing the thing that you can't rule it out.
Well, it makes sense. Look, at the stage that LeBron is at, if he wants to win, it should be in the Eastern Conference. Barry Jackson immediately came out with a report that said don't rule it out. Ethan Skolnick has now mentioned it.
What do you say?
Ramona came on here, and when I asked her about it, she wouldn't rule it out. She's plugged in on the Lakers side. We had reports last year of the Heat and Clutch repairing their relationship. We even saw Pat Riley and LeBron hug. I think we even have video of it when Riley was
Where
out
was
there.
this?
That was when Riley was out there getting his statue from the Lakers, and they shared a moment. That's
they look very
after.
chummy.
They looked super chummy after all of this time. Pat
My
Riley
man.
seems to be very forgiving. And if you look back at the Olympics, there was nobody who was being hyped up more by LeBron James than Bam Adebayo.
Splash Brother. Oh my God. The new Splash Brother. Bam, bam, splash right there. Yeah, Bam. We made shots.
Okay, he's being sarcastic.
That's after Bam hit a bunch of threes in that game,
Yeah, it's
and
patronizing.
you say they don't have shooting. Those guys got along great. Everybody was hyping up Bam. Forget that individual video. LeBron was really bullish, but now yesterday, what's really interesting is the way that Rich Paul is talking about the Miami Heat.
This team could look totally different. This it's a lot of work to be done. The one good thing about Miami is when you talk about backfilling a roster with minimums, who don't want to go to Miami on the minimum?
So but I get that, but I'm saying in terms of who's going to be starting for this team.
We don't know yet. We can't say that.
Well, we know that Giannis and Bam
And
are
that's it.
starting.
Those are only 2.
You don't know
That
that
you know.
Wiggins is starting? You
No,
think he's a
we don't.
tradable asset?
You don't know.
The first thing that I would say in regards to what Rich Paul just said there, where you don't know who doesn't want to go to, you don't know who they can get on a minimum, who doesn't want to go to Miami on a minimum. Do you realize the irony there? The guy who is talking, Rich Paul, is the guy who prevents you from going to Miami on a minimum deal.
That's right.
A little bit ironic, right?
Yeah, but he's the guy saying who wouldn't want to go there on the minimum. And while people might say, no, that's not for LeBron James, he did at the end there bring up Andrew Wiggins. And the immediate response to, do you think he could be a trade chip is, you don't know. Now, I love Andrew.
Whoa, what do you got here?
The Charlotte Hornets are trading star guard LaMelo Ball and Josh Green to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Naz Reid.
Whoa.
2033 unprotected first-round pick.
Guy's 12 years old right now.
3 first-round pick swaps, 2028, 2029, 2030, and 3 second-round picks in 2029, 2032, and 2033. Wow. I don't think that's a huge return for LaMelo Ball, but a huge seismic move.
I don't think it's a huge return for LaMelo Ball either, and at the same time, I wouldn't have expected them to get more than that for LaMelo Ball.
There was so much said there. I'm trying to keep track of all the things that I want to address. Maybe I'll go in order. First of all, is don't rule it out a report. You kept saying someone reports don't rule it out. Like, doesn't a report have to be like more affirmed? I could say don't rule anything out.
That's right.
It doesn't feel like a report. Like that's
that's totally fair.
Okay,
Look,
okay.
this is not saying it's happening.
Don't
What
rule it
I'm
out.
saying is that there are lots of things you can read into
Okay.
that show it's more possible than it was 4 days ago, certainly. And this pairing makes a ton of sense for a guy who has yet to communicate with the Lakers if he's even playing, according to Ramona Shelburne.
It feels like from Rich Paul a bit of a Liam Neeson situation where it's like, don't you want to give some money to the other actors? Like, why don't you take a pay cut? And he's like, no, not that. Vet minimum is great in Miami, but not enough for my guys or anybody that I'm
for Chris
associated
Middleton.
with, obviously.
For Chris Middleton, it will be. And if LeBron James wants to be here, there's a variety of ways to do it. Look, we were talking about $18 million for 5 roster spots. They just filled one with the second-round pick yesterday, which I'm sure we'll get into in Ryan Conwell. But with the maneuverability that we know Andy Ellisberg has, with the free agency of Norman Powell that can always be manipulated into a sign-and-trade, with Andrew Wiggins in this player option, with the $16 million of Nikola Jovic, which we've talked about, we
Norman
don't know
Powell
where
would
he
be
stands.
a guy, though. I don't know if the Lakers would be interested in him. They got enough smaller guys who make a lot of money. Yeah, would the Lakers would be interested in Norman Powell?
No.
Yeah, they want a center bad.
Now they were interested in Khalil Ware, and that deal's not official. So,
No.
we can discuss what ultimately happens
I
here.
mean, they were talking about maybe going after Jared Allen and LeBron in Cleveland.
Yeah, he could end up in
I
Cleveland.
I got a report.
Or Golden State.
Don't rule it out, LeBron in Cleveland. Don't rule it out.
No.
Ooh, I'll say don't rule out LeBron in Golden State.
Oh, don't rule it out anywhere. The other thing, I know the point of the Rich Paul clip was to get into the LeBron discussion, but what jumped out to me on that clip was the glasses situation. How Rich Paul and Max Kellerman both had lenses in their glasses that had different gradient of color. Like, what does that say about you? If you got the complete dark ones, or you got the blue shade, or you go with the Jeremy, the clear shade, always indoors. Because, Jeremy, I know those are personality glasses. That's just so you look cute to
No, I
college
wear
kids.
contacts.
Remember that was a trend for a little while with the NBA players who were in the postgame. Dwayne Wade was one of the guys in the postgame press conference where they would wear the glasses, the clear ones, but they were non-prescription.
Yeah.
Like it was totally just for show.
Zaz, I think you should be a dark lens guy inside. Like inside, you should pull the full Rich Paul.
It's hard
and
to
go,
see though.
"Hey."
What do you got to see? What do you got
Nothing
to
to
see?
see. You got to give
bump
off
into
You
shit.
got to get off a vibe.
It's
Like,
called motion. That's what you're looking for, Dominique.
okay,
Like if you got the Cartier lenses like that, you got motion.
And I feel like Chris is a blue lens guy. Of the people here that I think could pull off the Max Kellerman blue tinted lens, Chris Cody could kill it. It's not you, Jeremy.
Nah,
I'm
I could
sorry.
do
Yeah,
No.
Jeremy, nah.
No, with these glasses, it's like, are you a hot, nerdy woman who read a lot of Twilight in high school?
Oh,
Here you go. That's my wife.
perfect.
So last night was the second round of the draft, which, I think it's enough already with the second round being 2 days. You did it the 1 year because, there's got to be a standalone day for Bronny James. And you want to prove that wasn't the reason why. So we've done it 2 more years and it's enough. We don't need the second round. It's its own day. And last night, the Heat, they selected Ryan Conwell, sharp shooting guard from Louisville, 22 years old, very much a Miami Heat draft pick. And they selected him last night by moving up to number 37. And the funny part of this, the part that I really enjoy, is apparently Boston wanted to select Ryan Conwell at number 40. The Heat were 41, so the Heat jumped Boston to 37 to acquire this player. So, by my count, over the last few days, the Heat own the Boston Celtics again. All right? The Heat own the Boston Celtics again. They beat them to the punch and acquire Giannis. The Celtics could be in a tailspin right now because the Jaylen Brown situation, because the Heat are the ones who got Giannis. And now, a player that Boston wanted to draft last night, the Heat jumped the Celtics and selected that player. We back up.
this day 2 guys, the second round guys. I get it. You boxed out the Celtics, so that's nice. And I listened to Jeremy this morning try to convince me that we're looking at a real contributor. But how often does that happen in the NBA that you get a second round pick that contributes? I know he's older, so maybe not more development, but it just is so rare. It's hard to get excited about a second round pick for an NBA team.
I can tell you of one, Kendrick Nunn, who was a rookie for the Miami Heat after going undrafted, a left-handed, undersized shooting guard who finished second in Rookie of the Year voting after going undrafted. And what they've talked about here with Conwell is that not only is he a strong shooter, there were, I believe it was No Ceilings NBA insinuated that he could be the best day 2 pick in the NBA draft. But he's a sharp shooter, which is what they needed. He's a developed player. And he's physical. And that's something that's really important in the Miami Heat. And Bobby Marks himself, well, let's listen to what he had to say.
When you look at the Giannis trade, they have hard capped themselves at the first apron. They have 5 roster spots available, basically $18 million to fill 5 roster spots. You get a player on a $1.3 million contract. He can help you out with your depth. I met him in Santa Barbara when I went out and interviewed him. I talked with the people at P2 who do all the athletic testing. They compared his numbers to Anthony.
Oh, wow. That's quite a comparison.
High-level athleticism here, and he'll fill certainly a void in that Miami bench here, especially at the 2 guard.
How you load it?
I'll take an Anthony Edwards comp.
There you go.
That's insane.
How about that?
People got to talk so much during draft coverage, man. They say some wild shit.
That's insane.
Speaking of wild shit, I'm gonna first start with admitting that I'm embarrassed of something that we didn't talk about yesterday. And 2 nights ago, so this, first of all, it's on me. This should have been something that we brought up yesterday. We are a day late. I'm a day late on this, all right? I am embarrassed about it. But that's not going to stop us from bringing it up now because it's become a story.
How good the Miami Marlins are and the fact that they have
I'll give you your chance.
Third best start in Miami
Settle down
Marlins
over
history through the halfway point of the season.
He said settle down.
That
Settle
the other
down.
2 times they made the playoffs and once it was the World Series.
Settle down. I'll give you your opportunity. So, Dominique, 2 nights ago, the Marlins have the most home wins in all of baseball, by the way. Like
Best home field advantage in the sport.
Let him finish.
I'll give you your chance.
Stop talking.
And 2 nights ago, Sandy Alcantara was on the hill, and he became the Marlins' all-time leader in strikeouts.
That's a big deal.
It is a big deal. He surpassed Ricky Nolasco, and he is the franchise's all-time leader now.
Wow, you're right. It's crazy that you were late to that. Awesome story. What's the next story?
You're going to lose your opportunity to say the fun stuff, all right?
Watch yourself.
So Sandy Alcantara, he gets his 4th strikeout of the night, which makes him the all-time leader in strikeouts.
That's an awesome moment to be a part of as a Marlins fan or player or anyone in South Florida. It's a momentous occasion.
Well, no one in the ballpark knew.
Huh?
No one in the ballpark knew.
Who what?
And as a result, he gets the strikeout, and the Marlins manager, Clayton McCullough, he starts clapping, as you should, because you'd figure it's a tip-of-the-cap moment. But the only people who are clapping and acknowledging and cheering for it are the Marlins manager and the guys in the guys who are left in the dugouts. And you wind up seeing Clayton McCullough, the Marlins manager, is kind of like egging on the crowd, like, can you give it up? You know, but no one knows. And eventually, like 45 seconds later, they flash on the screen that Sandy Alcantara is now the Marlins' all-time leader. And then, you know, the crowd, all in unison, all 4,000 people, they stand up and they clap. Okay, I'll let you chime in real quick. Was it more than 4,000
Yeah,
people?
it was much more than 4,000 people.
Very good. They all stand up and they cheer and they acknowledge. And give this a listen here. So Tommy Hutton, who we love on the Marlins television broadcast, we love Tommy Hutton. And he took aim at the fans for needing to be told that this was a record that was just broken.
Yeah, he did. He struck him out. And there it is. Sandy Alcantara stands alone as Miami's all-time new strikeout leader.
They haven't really acknowledged that yet here in the ballpark. He knows. I think he was aware of that coming in, and he looks around to see if they put on the scoreboard. They did not.
They still have the count as 1 ball, 3 strikes.
Look at Clayton. He is not happy, and neither is that Marlins dugout. They're telling the fans to stand up. and applaud Sandy.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it out there. See, the problem I have, most of the fans here tonight should know that without having to look at the scoreboard.
And now he's doffing his cap, so the fans in the know now. That's great.
A lot of problems. It wasn't put up on the scoreboard right away, which it should have been. And a lot of fans who came here should have known it anyway. Little things like that irritate me, Kyle.
I know they do.
I put extremely little blame on the fans in that spot. Extremely little blame. This isn't St. Louis. This isn't Philadelphia. This isn't New York. And you got to know the crowd. And we're not a baseball town. And they're not going to know when Sandy Alcantara breaks the all-time record. The team has to put it on the Jumbotron. Matter of fact, they have to do it every strikeout leading up to the record and let you know 3 away, 2 away, 1 away. I don't agree with Tommy in that spot. I think that the team, it's on them to let the crowd know so their pitcher gets the acknowledgement that he deserves.
We love Miami. We love Miami. Up to Scotland. Up to Scotland.
I don't care how much it costs. I don't care the trouble I'm in with my wife now. This is the best experience of my entire life, including my wedding.
How much did it cost you to get here?
I don't want to talk about it. $1,500 a day. I paid more money than my wife will ever know. My son behind me was in nappies the last time Scotland qualified.
These things called empanadas are like Greg's on steroids.
Good soft bread. The meat is tender and full of flavour. Publix, Pub Sub. Gets high marks from me.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Wow, that was excellent. Excellent job, Dominique.
Thank you.
So LaMelo Ball has been traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves, new running partner for Anthony Edwards. And Naz Reid goes back to Charlotte, and an unprotected first round in 2033, which, if you want to do the math right now, whoever they select there is currently 12 years old right now.
That's right. That does open up a whole new portal to improve this roster that I hadn't considered. Trading picks from a decade from now.
Isn't that funny, Dominique? Whoever they select is likely 12 years old right now.
They did give up a lot of picks for Rudy Gobert, so I was wondering how, when I heard that they were in the mix, I'm like, do they even have picks to trade? Yeah. I didn't know that you can do so from the, well into the next decade.
So this is interesting. Go ahead, Dominique.
Can I ask a question? So
you're very distracted, I could tell right now.
Oh, no. I'm not distracted. I think what's distracting me is I'm trying to understand the reason for this move. It seems like this time of year we see all the teams addressing the issues that they had last season. And I'm looking at Minnesota, and I thought that they moved on from Cat because they thought Naz Reid was like a better, cheaper version of that. Moving on from Naz Reid to bring in LaMelo Ball, I guess maybe they feel like they need more ball handlers, which that wouldn't be the thing that, or more playmakers. They want to move Ant off the ball. Is there someone else who has a theory about this that makes more sense, that makes it clear to me why they would want to do this? Because it doesn't seem like it makes a ton of sense for them.
They have supreme belief in Jaden McDaniels. That's what it tells me. Like, they were missing a point guard last year. They had all these bigs and all these movable pieces that could play the 3, play the 4, play the 5 in Julius Randle and Naz Reid. They didn't have a playmaker at the 1. Dante DiVincenzo tore his Achilles.
Right.
Like, they were looking around saying, all right, who can get Ant Edwards the ball in space, allow him to create? Now they have one of those guys who's also a great playmaker on offense, creating and getting his own shot. But now they have Jaden McDaniels who'll slot in there and be like, all right, we don't really need Naz Reid at a max number.
I think it was also shown that size wasn't what beat the Spurs. Like, if you're in the Western Conference, what really helped the Knicks was being able to outrun the Spurs and be athletic enough in the way you moved your offense. They still have Rudy Gobert to anchor the center of that defense. He'll still be the guy that squares up with Wemby. But in moving off of Julius Randle, moving off of Naz Reid, they probably feel like they can fill their big rotation from there in a different way and be able to just now run with both LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards. I think it's combustible, but I get the leverage play.
That part, I think they probably...
We like that down here, right?
We'll revisit this. They probably just destroyed their chances of keeping Anthony Edwards by bringing in LaMelo Ball, which
Anthony
is fun.
Edwards is a guy, I can tell you, I happen to know. Anthony Edwards, do we have I happen to know?
He happens to know.
Anthony Edwards is a guy who has flirted with the Miami Heat. Like, this is a guy who the Miami Heat obviously would be interested in, and a guy who, through back channels, has told the Miami Heat there could be a time where he'd be interested in Miami.
So wise.
So a couple days after this trade, we have found our lane. We're back. It has developed some talent, trade picks from 2 decades from now, and get Anthony Edwards after LaMelo Ball ruins all the team chemistry.
Would you rather do that, or would you rather now convince Charlotte to unlock that other pick, use a first-round pick, Jovic and Wiggins, to go get Kevin Durant, and then sign LeBron in the MLE?
Okay, my brain isn't big enough to understand what you just told me. I'm just happy for us in the audience because years of a Giannis pursuit, you'd think that would finally be over. No, this marks the end of that, but the start to the Anthony Edwards chapter of our program.
Well, and look, this sounds ridiculous, what I'm going to say, but it is true. We understand the way this machine works. Yeah. We understand the way the NBA, especially the NBA media, operates. And for a few years before, Damian Lillard was the guy. Lillard's the guy that we have to talk about. You got to get out of Portland. Yeah. And then eventually it happened. And then for a couple years it shifted. Giannis then became the guy. You got to get out of Milwaukee. And he did. And now, who's going to be the next guy that the NBA media says has to force his way out of his current situation? And it feels like Anthony Edwards is going to be that guy.
It does. Anthony Edwards hasn't really played ball there. I know you happen to know he's flirted, but he hasn't done the disgruntled superstar thing quite yet. And I know this seems like a go-for-it move, and I think we should salute Minnesota. They know that they can't get guys via free agency, so they develop guys and make impactful trades that work for them, their team, and their market. So that's a good job out of them. But if I'm Boston, I'm floating Jaylen Brown around that franchise and being like, all right, what's a plan here? Are you worried about long-term Anthony Edwards? Because we have one of the few stars in this league that is available that while he's not the same kind of talent level, he's still a star. He's a finals MVP. We can put him in a package.
I want to talk about the LaMelo Ball side of this for a second, which I think is interesting. Number one, this trade kind of came out of nowhere. And when I say it kind of came, like it broke last night, Shams Charania, who by the way, and I went on a whole rant a few days ago how the NBA media has embarrassed itself during this whole stretch with Giannis and Miami. Shams really just showed up from his slumber a few days ago on Monday, I believe, and was dropping the Giannis bombs. Shams has been a star this week. Like, he's been all over it. Everyone else, I think, has embarrassed themselves for the most part, but Shams is having a great week. And last night, he breaks the news that there's serious engagement, serious interest in Charlotte moving LaMelo Ball, and they do today. So the first part that's interesting, Dominique, is why did they do it before the draft? Because did they not want, or maybe they couldn't. Maybe Minnesota was not willing to give a pick in this year's draft, or Minnesota's pick, I'm sure, was very low in the first round. But you don't normally have a superstar being moved, immediately following the draft. You would want it right before the draft, So there's that part that's weird, right?
Yeah, that's a little weird. And also, I get the criticism of LaMelo Ball's style of play, but the Hornets were good and interesting and exciting for the first time in a long time, and LaMelo Ball was a part of that. So the decision to move off of him, I guess this does make them a little bit more of a complete team, but it does break up the little bit of motion that they did have. And I know LaMelo Ball is not, Mike already made this point, he's a unique personality, and it may not work out in Minnesota in the same way that eventually it didn't work out in Charlotte. But I was excited about watching LaMelo Ball, and you guys talked about potential players.
He's on a better team now.
Yeah, and you talk about potential players coming down here. Why didn't you guys get excited about bringing LaMelo Ball down? He's not a heat culture guy. You don't want, that's not, no? Everybody laughing, looking crazy at me, no LaMelo Ball.
No.
I don't think LaMelo Ball is a winning player. And I understand, Mike, the last half of this past season, he started to change his style of play, and the direction of the team went way up. For the first time, this Hornets team felt like, okay, maybe we have something going. But I feel like there's a big enough body of work where I don't believe this is a winning player.
You also hate him because he hurt Bam.
That's true. Yeah. I am biased against him.
Totally right.
But I felt this way before anyway.
And he almost ran the guy off the road. Yeah, and then the second time, too.
He's a liability behind the wheel.
Time.
So we'll see how that plays out. I do think that this could be spun into a win for Charlotte. I understand why people don't think LaMelo is a winning player. Right. We were workshopping back here. This probably means Kobe White, who's developed quite nicely.
They keep
killed the Heat. He's your PG1. This also shows a distinct belief in them that Con Knipple is their guy. Naz Reid is going to be a nice piece.
And Brandon Miller's a nice enough player, too.
Yeah, I was wondering, what's my Heat prism on this? Did Charlotte just get weaker because Charlotte bounced Miami from the play-in, and I was worried about their ascension? I think you still got to be worried about them. They're going to be in that playoff mix.
Yeah. I got to be honest. If you're not watching on YouTube, please, just for today. I don't know if you could sense that I've been a little bit distracted so far, but I can't look as
What?
I can't, man. You
look at me.
Look at me. You look like a 60-year-old Fred Durst. It's the glasses make you look like if Ben Franklin had a mixtape. I can't. It's insane. I love it. It looks great.
I've never worn glasses before. This is my new look now. I'm wearing glasses. I always like when my wife wears glasses. She normally wears contacts, okay? But every now and then, I guess she gets, she doesn't want to put the contacts in, pain in the ass, and so she wears the glasses. I like when she wears the glasses.
That's how my wife reacts to me when I do what I'm doing right now.
She doesn't like it?
No, she loves it.
Yeah.
Loves it.
Yeah. I like a girl that wears glasses every now and
The
then.
chat says you look like an insurance salesman that DJs in his free time.
All right, but I'm not. I'm a sports talk show host.
No. You got a mixtape coming out that's called High as a Kite.
I like this. This might be my new look. I'm not sure yet. I'm still workshopping
The glasses have motions, as I like it.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying.
The combo with the baggy back. Who has a baggy backwards hat? It's great.
Well, it's a little bit baggy.
Backwards fit it is.
Yeah,
There's a reason why no one else in the industry does it, Zaz.
They say you look like a washed speakeasy poet.
If I was wearing a Kangol.
I don't know why this looks like a real world audition tape.
Yeah, that's not bad. If I was wearing a Kangol, I think I would fit both of those profiles.
Radio host Malone.
Juju, put it on the poll. Juju, put it on the poll. Do I look like Radio Post Malone?
Radio host Malone.
Radio host. That's what I said. Radio host Malone.
That's
Listen,
what he said.
listen better.
This guy.
Come
No,
on.
listen
you need
better, dog.
Glasses for your ears.
So LaMelo Ball traded to Minnesota. I'm not willing to sit here and tell you exactly what seed I think Minnesota is now. This is not fast take, all right? But that is obviously a huge move with LaMelo Ball being moved. Did you see Austin Reeves' new contract yesterday?
Oh,
holy moly! What was that? Like,
I mean, I get when guys get paid, man. It makes me so happy. It brings me joy.
Is that right?
It's uncomfortable how happy I am for when players get big checks. I get even more happy when it seems like they don't deserve it. When people are mad that guys got that money, brings me so much joy. But that team, it's an interesting thing. They got Luka, and we all thought that they would be championship contenders soon and they would make the moves. And I guess this is the cautionary tale for the Heat excitement, although the Heat have a different track record than the Lakers. But they got Luka, and we're like, you got this piece. You're going to be a championship contender. And it seems like in the second apron era, it's a lot harder to build a team. They have to re-sign Austin Reeves, and it makes them a very good offensive team with some defensive liabilities in a very difficult West. It doesn't seem like they have many options for how to become like a real threat. Although I'm super happy for Austin Reeves getting that paper.
There is a cool photo that his wife or girlfriend showed when he looked at his phone and saw that the deal was done, and he was on the golf course, and she snapped a shot of him just lying down on the green, and he was super excited. That is cool. All right.
That's great.
But what's not cool is the Lakers backcourt next year doesn't play any defense, and they're making a combined $90 million. And the place that I go to is I feel like I'm not saying that that the Lakers should have let Austin Reeves walk. All right, but what I am saying is it's not a coincidence that the Knicks did what they did when their best player was making $33 million. And I don't understand how we got to the place where if you're a good player, and certainly Austin Reeves is a good player, where if you're a good player, it means you have to be paid the maximum amount of money in a salary cap sport, the maximum amount of money that you're allowed to be paid, because we just saw with the Knicks, you need to have players outperforming the value of their contracts. And we could say Austin Reeves deserves his money, but he ain't going to outperform that contract.
So I think sometimes I run the risk of going too deep into the nerdy stuff, especially when we get around. So stop me if I do. But this is a basic psychology thing. It's when you make the league instituted these max contracts in order to try to reduce salaries. But when you introduce this landmark of a max contract.
What do you mean by that in order to, meaning so we don't go above that number?
They wanted the max contract to be able to control the superstar players from being able to take up the entire salary cap. But by doing it, and this always happens in CBA negotiations, is that there are some unintended consequences. By putting this particular landmark, this is a max contract. This is what the best players get. You pull people down, like LeBron through the course of his career, people who would have made more, you pull them down to it. But what ends up happening is you pull a lot of people up to it who aren't at the level of superstar, because they're this is the number. There's nothing to negotiate. This is what you pay one of your top two guys get this money. So it's going to happen. It's a result of CBA negotiations. So if you didn't have that, then some great players would get paid more. Guys, as they age and their performance decline, they will get paid less, not more, which happens now is your play starts to decline, you pay more. And now people would look at Austin and say, all right, you're really good. You're not as good as this guy, so you should get a little less. But this is they've asked for it and they've gotten it. They put that out there, and it's going to drag a bunch of people up.
You know what helps too when you talk about outperforming your contract, $184 million is going to be tough. You talk about the Knicks and what they're doing. Jalen Brunson took a massive pay cut.
Yep.
To be the best guy on that team to help.
Well,
other
not a
guys.
pay cut. He left money on the table.
Left money on the table, but that's basically a pay cut.
Same thing.
he would have had all that money, and it's easy because obviously Luka is not going to take a pay cut. Austin Reeves is like, I'm going to get this money. So that's a once in a generation type thing that happened in New York that ended up winning a championship.
Right, but I mean, the general manager of that team was his former agent. His current agent was the son of the general manager. His dad is on the coaching staff, and his godfather is the president of the team.
Where's Pablo?
Like,
It's incestuous.
if it comes down to like trust is why you be willing to do something like that. It's pretty easy to trust your whole damn family. Like, I understand why no one else would do it and he would be comfortable with doing it. But yeah, get Pablo.
What are you alleging? What are you alleging there?
I'm not alleging anything.
You
I'm
sound
saying,
like you're alleging something.
if you want to allege it, you can allege it.
I'm not alleging it. You're alleging it.
I'm only saying that in order to do a move like that, it requires a lot of trust. You know who I trust? My dad, my former agent, my agent's son, and my godfather. I trust them. That's all I'm saying.
Bank at the Cayman Islands?
Nope. Just saying I trust them.
Good.
That's
That
all.
was a test.
Did I pass?
Yes.
All right.
What's going on in Cannes right now? Because this is not the con. This is not the film festival.
Con Canipple, there's a lot of stuff going on.
No.
Gotta
I'm
be
talking about
wait-
France. Cannes, France. This is not the film festival, right? Like, what's going on in Cannes right now? Yes, I look a little bit like Ed Harris in the Truman Show. That is true.
I don't know. I know Pablo.
This isn't the film festival?
No.
They can't possibly have two events in that city.
They do.
They cannot.
This is something with like podcasting.
It's some creator.
Yeah. This is not the Cannes Film Festival. It's going.
Why aren't you there?
Great question.
This doesn't make
I
sense.
saw Trista was there as well.
Yeah, Trista's there because she has her daily W Sports. Trista Crick is doing a whole thing.
Podcast convention should be in like Lawrence, Kansas.
No, it's in Cannes. It's in Cannes. Everybody's having a great time there.
That's it. Austin, Texas. There's a good spot for it.
Perfect.
Cannes.
Can only imagine how obnoxious Pablo looked there.
Oh, I mean, that's his element, right? Like, I've never met someone who hobnobs like Pablo. He is the best hobnobber in the history of hobnobs.
There isn't a knob right now that isn't getting hobbed by Pablo Torre.
Look at this photo with Oprah. He met Oprah?
That's the biggest.
Pablo Torre.
That's the face that Pablo makes for the video audience who can't see it.
crazy.
Like that's the face that Pablo makes when he's taking a photo with Oprah Winfrey.
You get one picture with Oprah in your life, and that's what you look like.
That's the face.
Can we play the live photo just so we saw how this really happened? I love this.
Finds out.
2, 3.
Oh, I love a live photo.
Me too.
With the countdown in the background.
Yeah, I like that
It
too.
feels like a dirty secret you're being invited into.
Oh, I love when you hear something.
It's like, ooh, I could see you move. You didn't intend that because it's just a still
Don't
photo.
get that millisecond of me actually posing.
How many
Check your
faces did he make in this live shot?
Yeah, let's see it again.
Finds out.
2, 3.
At least
I-
3.
I know what's going on there. Because if you do the live photo, you can then scroll your finger through all the action, and you land on a good face.
Oh, so you think he did that intentionally? And I thought that maybe he was panicking. He was
So
like,
he has
this is my
multiple
chance.
photo options?
He was like scared,
I don't
happy.
think- yeah, you're not going to ask Oprah to do it again because you don't like the photo. So you might as well throw a bunch of faces in there and land on what's best once you edit.
Interesting.
I also don't want to miss the opportunity to point out Oprah hated this experience. You can tell by her body and her face and her hands, she's like, I hate this. I don't like this man. I know he wants to hub on all the knobs. I don't like it. I've been hubbed too much.
Not everyone gets to meet Oprah at this thing. I'm wondering if there's like a certain little like maybe Pulitzer Prize section that she finds herself in.
So she'd be more willing to take pictures of the
That's right.
Pulitzer Prize winner.
He's got the wristband. She doesn't need one. Her wristband appears to be her face.
Can you imagine her walk into the area where you need the wristbands and they stop her like, where's your wristband? I mean,
You get fired. Now you get fired.
Talk to my supervisor really quick.
Is that later? What's the last name? Winfrey with a W.
I'd be intimidated to ask Oprah Winfrey for a picture.
I feel like the more famous the person is, like I'm not a picture guy. It's like insecurity and ego, I think. But
You can't, in that situation, you need to have a friend with you. That's like, hey guys, get together for a picture.
Oh,
you can't be.
His producer definitely went up to her and was like, "Here, Pablo would like to meet you."
No. I think
you guys
no.
look so- Hey, let's get a picture.
Yeah, I think you're a pro. Because I wouldn't have done it, but I would always, of course, appreciate a picture with a famous person, but I would never ask. But if someone else, it like puts you on the same plane as them. If someone's like, hey, you guys are together, cool. You got to have somebody with you.
Pablo,
You do.
Oprah's ready for you now.
It needs to be a coordinated effort.
Yeah. No, I think, Chris, you're doing something different.
Pablo's in a corner of like over in this little roped off area. He's just looking away, and then his producer Chris is like, Pablo, she's ready for you. Okay, yes. Like he's just looking off into a corner.
So you walk up and you're like, hey, Oprah, I don't want to bother you. Just wanted to say, big fan, love what you're doing. And then you
Do you
have
have
your
to
friend
say
walk
big
up.
fan?
You don't have to. You just have to make the acquaintance. You have to engage her, and then you can't ask. I think that's what Mike is doing is you don't ask. You have someone walk up and pretend as if this is a great opportunity that these two celebrities are next to each other. And you're like, hey, let's get this pic, guys, because you don't want to be the one to like, hey, Oprah, can I have a picture?
Juju, put it on the poll. Would you be nervous to ask Oprah Winfrey for a picture? And also, please, Juju, put it on the poll. Is Pablo the greatest hobnobber?
Oh, yeah.
I would be, like, I feel like there's this aura around Oprah Winfrey. There are very few people that I would be, like, nervous to talk to. I mean, like, I work in sports for the last 20 years, you know?
God, I would love to see that interaction. Lord, let there be a day.
Hey, Oprah.
Let there be a day. Oh, the color purple.
You like these glasses?
She would see these glasses. She'd be like, this is someone I'll take a picture with. He looks sophisticated.
I love big game, not a big game.
She would say that to me. Instead of me having to go up to her and say, I'm a
right.
big fan, she'd be like, I love big deal, not a big deal.
Huge fan of your work.
Yo, 1-time or 2-time championship broadcaster?
2. Oprah, 2.
You think Oprah would say like, hey, know about that book club?
Well, and I would say, yes, I do, Oprah. Yes, I do.
Have you seen Weapons?
The kids. So speaking of Con, Jaylen Brown is at Con. You know,
is he?
Yeah. So Jaylen Brown is doing like I don't know if he's doing an episode of his podcast or I don't think he's on Twitch in Con, but he's doing a sit down with someone. He's doing a live like interview kind of deal. And Jaylen Brown, he decided to continue the conversation about Stephen A. Smith being, Stephen A. Smith going after him for his comments that he made about this being his favorite season.
The leader behind that was ESPN. ESPN is unethical, and Stephen A. Smith is the head face of that. But, the organization, the players, they were all in agreement. They all knew what I meant by that. Our team was basically salary dumped. We lost a lot of players.
How about the lonely clap after Stephen A. Smith is the leader?
That person didn't even feel that strongly about the topic, but they were like, "Oh, we're all gonna clap here." Oh no one's clapping. Okay, I'll stop.
Does that person know what he's actually even talking about?
Not in Con.
I do love at a setting like this, not that I've ever been there, but in like a speech setting, I love to be the person that starts the applause, that gets the whole crowd going. I love that.
Did you realize that the Boston Celtics were just a salary dump team?
Yeah.
No expectations for them
That's
whatsoever. Right. They were just this franchise. Hey, give us all your bad contracts. That's what they were.
That's right. Jaylen Brown's teammates this past year should feel really good. You're a salary dump team. All you guys, this is a salary dump team.
Am I the only one who finds myself on Jaylen Brown's side in this?
Well, no, the guy that clapped.
Oh yeah, me.
You might hate Stephen A. Smith.
Was that you during that clip?
Girl. I'm sorry, woman.
Definitely not the Stephen A. Smith part. But it feels like up until this point, the general consensus around Jaylen Brown is like he's annoying and kind of spoiled and grumpy and like he shouldn't have said this was his favorite season. Like I'm thinking back over the course of his career in Boston, and he has a right to be upset. He was the 3rd overall pick in 2016. And the Boston Celtics fans booed him when he was drafted. They followed a year by getting another player at a similar position in Jason Tatum. Then every time they go to the playoffs or lose in the playoffs or lose in the finals, the reason why they lost is Jason Tatum can't dribble with his left hand. Or not Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown is the problem. He can't dribble with his left hand. Every year it's like, we want Kawhi, let's ship out Tatum. We want Durant, let's ship out Tatum. He's a part of every single trade rumor. He gets snubbed for the All-NBA team. You know what? Kawhi drops off of the USA team, and they're like, yeah, let's find a player. Let's get a Celtic. You know, Kawhi Leonard, a real rangy, great defensive wing. Let's get Derek White from the Celtics. He just gets snubbed and snubbed. Then he's the MVP, the finals MVP for this team. You know how they reward him? What that Giannis looking like? We got a Jason Tatum for that Giannis. And then the man does a couple Twitch streams, and we're all like, he's kind of mean. He's like selfish and whiny. Like, I would be upset too if I did all of this stuff and no one seems to want to appreciate me and they want to shit me out at every chance they get.
Well, you're talking about it in totality.
Yeah,
which
you're
is
also
fine.
talking about it like someone who has totally fallen for what he's been trying to do this entire offseason.
Exactly right.
Which is garner sympathy, and this is what it looks like. This is what the sausage looks like when the disgruntled star actually wants his way out of there. But kudos to you for falling for it.
Is it falling for it if there's a line of facts that
by
set
the way,
it up?
I don't think I need all like the window dressing that he's doing right now. I'm Team JB here. I think they're backing Jason Tatum. Like, this seems like it's a me or him thing.
Right.
And I'd side with Jaylen Brown here. More proven commodity, not coming off an Achilles. I get where he's coming from.
That's the only point I'm making is, like, I'm not saying that I would behave the way he behaved or I think that having a Twitch stream or saying this was your favorite season was right. I'm just saying that we are missing the point. While we focus on the way that he demonstrates that he feels like underappreciated or disrespected, maybe you don't like that. But he has been underappreciated and disrespected considering what he's contributed to that team. That's all I'm saying. And we keep going like, hey, he's picking on Stephen A. Smith, or he's doing this thing that's weird. He's doing that thing that's weird. None of us seem to be willing to say, you know what? The Celtics, the organization that ran Isaiah Thomas into the ground and told him to get missing, is the same organization that is now treating him this way.
You working for PR for him or what? What's going on here?
Again, no one is directly refuting anything I'm saying. We're just like going these sideways.
You made good points. You made good points.
That's
also
all.
points that he would make, right? Like
so you want to make the points that Brad Stevens would make? Knock yourself out. We're all making points that one side or the other would make. I just happen to be on the side of the people.
Oh, I'll refute the part about, and defend essentially ESPN and Stephen A. Smith in that.
Me too.
In
I
this
love
spot.
ESPN and Stephen A. Smith. He's dead wrong about that.
But I'll refute the part from Jaylen Brown. I'll refute the part from Jaylen Brown where he's calling ESPN and Stephen A. Smith unethical because they took, like, he's doing the move where he says something and then if other people react unfavorably to the thing he said, that means it was taken out of context. No.
Yeah.
We heard what you said. We watched the whole thing. You claimed that a year that ended in embarrassment. For the first time ever, the Celtics lost a series after leading 3-1. You called it your favorite season, when just 2 years prior, you won a championship and were finals MVP. But this one was your favorite season, a season also, mind you, when all these years it's been Jaylen or Jason, and do they get along and can they play together? Your favorite season wasn't when the two of you won a championship together. This is not being taken out of context. You said this. Your favorite season is the one where Jason didn't play and you got to be the man.
So to me, that sounds like you've decided what side you want to be on and you found the thing to grab onto and make the point. Because I think that considering the track record, I won't run through it again, that I just gave you, it's reasonable. Maybe he shouldn't have said it, but it's reasonable for him to say that at every turn, even after I was the finals MVP, that felt like a notch in the belt of Jason Tatum. We still talked about Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum did an offseason interview where he's like, I'm chasing people like Larry Bird. He's thinking I was the 3rd overall pick also. I was the wing that put the finals in Boston again, that brought the Boston a championship again. I'm the guy. And at every turn, they're like, you're the guy that will ship off for a better guy. And he's like, no, I'm doing the things that you want him to do. I'm doing it. The 1 year that he's out, you know what? We're a 3 seed. It's not just him out. We lose Porzingis, lose Drew Holiday, lose Al Horford. We lose all the pieces, and everyone's like, Boston, gap year. Maybe they'll get a high pick. You know what? We're 3rd, and I'm in the MVP conversation. And then the result of the offseason is maybe we'll see if we can ship him out of town. Okay, maybe he shouldn't have said exactly what he said, but the point is, if anyone in all of this is wrong, I don't really think it's Jaylen Brown for his reaction to doing all the shit you said he couldn't do. And then you say, all right, if you do all this, we'll treat you like a superstar. We'll treat you with the respect that you deserve. He did it all. He got better every offseason. He addressed the issues. And then he wins a championship. Tatum gets hurt. He balls out. And then in the offseason, they are dangling his ass around to trade again. And he's pissed. That's all I'm saying. He's right to be pissed. That's it.
Dominique, all that stuff agreed with. Okay, fine. The issue is we don't know what he's like on a day in and day out basis inside that locker room, inside that front office, inside that building, right? If you have all of those medals and all those accolades and all those things, but you're still an asshole. I'm not saying he is, but I'm saying if you're somebody that people don't want to be around in the office, like it's tough for you to stick around.
Let's stop making him Manny Diaz when Miami was approaching Mario Cristobal. He was dangling that ass on his own.
I think so. I guess my point is now you guys are willing to say, all right, the way he's acting, it's okay for them to shop him. Why don't we extend him the same grace that we are extending to the team?
But it's okay what he wants. Like, it's his intention to be dangled.
He wants to be the guy.
And he gets to point a finger at the team saying, oh, this is unfair, garner sympathy. This is what the superstars in that league do. They outside of James Harden, this is how you garner. They want to be victims here.
So that's fine. But it feels like to me that we're more critical of Jaylen Brown for doing that thing than we are of the Celtics for saying, so I assume that Jaylen Brown was not this difficult to deal with. I think that some of this is a part of who he is, and some of it is a part of the way that they've treated him. We don't treat other superstars this way when they want to dangle that ass. And we do not treat teams this way when they want to dangle a player. That's all I'm saying.
The issue with us, at least with me, is I feel like Jaylen Brown always tries to be the smartest guy in the room just to ask him about it. Right? Like he's trying to outsmart everybody at every turn. That's like fine. You've on the court, you've done what you've needed to do. Granted, you've been incredible. You worked on your game. You actually ended up getting a left hand. You became Finals MVP. You helped the Celtics through a team that are a bridge year where they thought they were going to be a lottery team, and you got into the playoffs. But then you lost to the Sixers and Joel Embiid and the carcass of what they had. And now it's all of a sudden like, oh, now I got to get out of here because I want to be the man. Like when you try to outsmart everybody all the time, people kind of lose the like on that.
But to Jaylen Brown's credit, like he led them to that, and then Jason Tatum came back, and then they lost in the first round as he deferred to Jason Tatum throughout at different moments. He deferred to him throughout their championship run, but then he stepped up in the finals and won Finals MVP. And ultimately, all he said was, this was my favorite season I got to play as the lead guy and as a team that overachieved. They had a ton of expectations every other year that he was in the league with Jason Tatum. This year, everyone said, oh man, maybe they're going to be a play-in team. And then he led them to more success than they anticipated. That's allowed to be a fun year, even if you fall short of the ultimate goal, especially if you've already been a champion. I feel like the way that we're treating him, in the way that he's handling this, and the lack of credit that he's getting in Boston, it feels more like Kevin Durant in the way he was treated with the Golden State Warriors, where it's like, you're not our guy. You're not our lead guy. We're going to heap the credit onto Jason Tatum regardless. And Jaylen Brown, I said it 2 weeks ago, he should be asking out, and he's not even doing that, Zaz.
Jeremy, it's not allowed to be his favorite year on the franchise that routinely tells you the only banners we hang, not division, not conference banners, are the championship banners.
Totally fair.
Like,
that's totally fair.
That's
totally fair. But it can be his favorite season. Like, it's fair to say he didn't meet expectations, and it's not their favorite season as a team. He did individually.
So I think all I want is for everyone to accept what Tony said. y'all don't like him. You're looking for a reason to pile on him because you don't like him.
Oh, I've got my reasons.
I like him.
That's what it comes down to.
I had my reasons.
And I could understand that and accept it. I think the part that frustrates me is the move that Zaz is doing. And it's not just Zaz. It's like, we're going to focus on this one thing and say, this is the reason. No. Like, it's because you don't like him.
How do people not like Jaylen Brown? Like, he's been a quiet guy for most of his career. Outside of social causes, he's the perfect guy to pair with. Maybe that's what's going on with some people. But, like, this is the first time he's ever been vocal, really. Has he always been Twitch streaming? No. This is the only time it's ever made news. Right. That's why I'm not overthinking this. This is, there are some long-term relationships where a person doesn't have the heart to break up with the other person, but they start behaving in a way that makes it seem like it was the other person's idea.
Right.
So they can throw their hands up and say, you know what, you're right. This is probably for the best. I think that's what's going on here. It's meta. It's working, by the way, especially with this news cycle, which is, how dare they do this to Jaylen Brown, a finals MVP, pursue Giannis? You guys know you're good enough to win a championship. So he gets to be a victim, and it's all because of the original sin, which was what we keep referencing. This was my favorite year. This was my favorite season.
Whoa. Another breaking news.
Brian Windhorst has called Ja Morant, quote, flagrantly available. He says his 2-year contract is making teams hesitant to take on the risk. Flagrantly available.
Now, Miami passed on an opportunity to get him on the cheap.
He makes like $50 million a year, doesn't he?
In terms of giving stuff up, like, they don't have assets. I mean, I would review it one more time.
It would be the opposite. It's negative. It's sunk cost. So Memphis would have to attach a pick to Ja Morant to get it to move.
That's right.
Now, how do you go from available to, like, what then makes you flagrantly
Like the front door, like, it could be locked, right? And then you have the front door that's unlocked that you can walk in the front door.
I feel like it would be if there was no door.
Exactly right. The door is off the hinges right now. Just come in and get whatever you want.
Jovic is behind that door, too.
It's like New York City. Come get anything.
Dangle that ass.
Do you like breathing hot neck on the neck of hot?
Wow. Are you turned on?
Do you like
dangling?
Breathing hot neck?
What's going on here?
Do you like
sexy
breathing hot neck?
You have been dry humped many, many times.
Intimate.
You have been dry humped many, many times.
A little pelvic thrust situation.
I like that.
Have you ever consoled a naked man before?
What does it feel like to get dry humped?
I saw pee-pee.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Breathing hot neck.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Many, many times.
I saw pee-pee.
People out there, stop sending me pictures of the hotel rooms with the chair, okay? Stop sending those to me.
I like that. I like that.
He was naked.
Intimate.
Dangling.
I would hold that thing really tight.
How would you do it?
What's going on here?
Do you like
sexy
breathing hot neck? Do you like breathing hot neck?
I've been dry humps.
You never know.
I've been dry humps.
Many, many times.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Have you ever consoled a naked man?
I've never consoled a naked man.
Many, many times.
You never know. I like that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Chris Cody and Roy revealed this to me. And Roy, I don't know the context of what it is that you guys were talking about that revealed this about Chris Cody.
Yeah, Chris asked me what the sound from the first down for the Dolphins games were. And I said
it's just a noise I've made throughout my entire life. It's just like I just did it. Hoo-wah!
Yeah.
And to me, that's another Miami Dolphins first down.
Well, let's find out. Let's find out if your dad knows, because he's not a real moviegoer. Instead of impersonating the sound, do you have the actual sound? Greg Cody, do you know who's making this sound?
Hoo-ah! I do.
Clark Gable.
Come on.
It's the famous actor
Rock Hudson.
Oh, this is great. He doesn't know it.
No, it's the famous actor, and I gotta pin his name down because I don't think
you should be able to say this immediately.
I don't think it's Robert De Niro.
No.
But I think it's
In the neighborhood.
In the neighborhood. Give me a second.
Hoo-ah!
Robert De Niro.
Humphrey
Al Pacino.
Hey, there you go.
If someone said that in his headphones, you're fired.
Now,
No,
what movie?
nobody said
what
that.
movie?
It's APEC. What movie?
Streetcar Named Desire.
You ain't you. No, you're not man enough to know the truth. Something like
No.
That's a few good men, and that's a few good men.
Good answer. Good answer.
And it's not, you're not man enough to know the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Don't know.
It's a different movie. Pacino was not in
You're
it.
not man enough to know the truth.
That was originally a line. Nicholson ad-libbed. They
Put
kept
it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Was Pacino in A Few Good Men? Was a blind Pacino?
Okay, who did he say? Who said hoo-ah in what movie?
Let's keep going. Let's see how long it takes you to get.
Play it again.
I think did he win an Oscar? I think
Yes.
he won an Oscar
Yes, he
for
won
this.
Best Actor.
Bull Durham.
No.
Good answer. Good answer.
Put it on the
Raging
poll.
Bull. Raging
Put it on
Bull.
the poll.
Raging
No.
It's a bull movie.
Just naming De Niro movies.
Red Bull. I don't know.
Put it on the poll. Was a blind Pacino in Bull Durham?
Chicago Bull.
And put it on the poll as well. Was a blind Pacino in Raging Bull? First of all, it's a really random thing to have stick in a dolphin.
I say it all the time.
No, but it's been for 30 years. That movie's 30 years old. I don't want to tell him what the movie is. Keep guessing, Greg. Keep trying to guess what the Al Pacino. How many Oscars has Pacino won? Because he
A Few Good Men.
You already guessed that, and we already told you that it's not A Few Good Men.
Okay.
And you're not man enough to handle the truth.
Right. Okay.
Classic line.
It's got a military theme to it. I just can't come up with a name.
It's not a military theme, but I think he's a former military guy.
Okay,
He was a colonel.
There you go. Colonel Sanders. I don't know. I'm never going to get it. I don't know movies.
Wow, it's his only Academy Award.
The
Greg doesn't know
Scent
movies.
of a
Woman. See? I told you I was going to get it.
Your son had no idea where that sound
where I
was
get it
from.
from.
This is
really?
2 generations of idiot. Pop culture idiot.
I knew it was Al Pacino.
Greg, you cannot listen to
De
what you
Niro.
just did for the last 4 minutes and say that is some sort of expertise that you're bragging about.
First of all, I speak for moviegoers in general. Al Pacino and De Niro are always interchangeable. They're always mistaken for each other. They're the same person.
De Niro could not have been the devil.
They've won the same awards. They're like the same people.
They were only in one scene together, like in their movie careers.
I know, but they're parallel lives. And you know it.
Put it on the poll. Do you often confuse De Niro and Pacino, and you know it? At Le
And you
Batard
know it.
Show.
You're going to have to wait for that one.
Exactly.
That was staggering. Even by the standards of the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody, where your son Michael asks you movie questions and you flail and fail and get them all wrong. Even by those standards, that was an amazing amount of ignorance.
Nick, before we let you talk about the Steelers, you're in luck because we have the Love Doctor. The Love Doctor is here. He is ready. He is in his office right now. Dr. Greg Cody getting everybody ready for Mother's Day this weekend. And we have questions. The Love Doctor is going to have the answers. Who's up first?
I know a lot of people are going to come to you and they're going to want to know, how do you keep it interesting? Me, I'm not interested in interesting. So how do you keep it predictable? How do you keep it ho-hum? How do you just let it just be?
Was that Jason Tatum asking that question?
Young lady, you are my kind of gal. That's my lane. That's my lane of romance. I invented predictable. Nobody has perfected the art of dull routine like yours truly. As a matter of fact, little inside information here, my wife and I schedule our naughty time months in advance, like doctor's appointments. Quite often, she'll have to cancel because...
This segment is presented to you by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. And we are looking at today's match between the United States. Zaz, do you know who they're playing?
Yeah, they're playing Turkey.
You called it by the right name. Good on you.
They've earned my respect.
We don't, not with their play this tournament.
Have they scored a goal yet?
They've been terrible. They have been brutal. They were already eliminated. One of those weird byproducts of a World Cup that's expanded. You're getting a few games where nothing is on the line.
I thought it would have been the other way around when there's more teams that can make the knockout round, that it would mean more games matter.
Well, I think this is the first tournament that's this big, obviously, and one of the changes that FIFA made, which was for the better, I think, in previous incarnations, was goal differential used to be the main tiebreaker, and then you had teams that wouldn't make it to the knockout stage are like, well, that sucks because we beat the team that got in ahead of us, even though we're on the same amount of points. That should be the chief tiebreaker, which I agree with. But it has made the final match day of the groups a little less interesting, but we do have some spicy ones. This one not as spicy, but let's stay focused on the United States men's national team. I imagine a lot of rotation for this club. You got guys on yellows. Christian Pulisic has said he is available, but I think I speak for most U.S. men's national team fans. I don't want you to be available. I want you to continue resting. So we'll see who's in this lineup. One thing I do know, we like to attack. Yeah. We like to score. We like to get in threatening positions. And while Turkey A hasn't this tournament, with the rotation and the style of play that the U.S. play and all the unknowns, I'd love to take a side here, but I don't really know what to expect because I don't see the roster sheet. So let's go both teams to score. I opened up my trusty DraftKings Sports app, available in all 50 states, including the Sunshine State of Florida. Market price -144. Both teams to score. I'm going with that.
All right, there you go. So U.S. is playing tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern against Turkey A. They have already clinched their group. But what are the stakes here that, specifically for Group D? Like Paraguay and Australia are also playing. All the games are at the same time. So we have 6 games today. It's Group D, E, and F. Is anything on the line with Paraguay and Australia?
Yes, there is. Both teams have beaten Turkey A. So they're in this mix of teams where Scotland now finds itself in a bad situation because they couldn't afford it to get blown out by Brazil yesterday, and they did. So now they're watching these results to make sure they can stay within this goal differential gap.
They're trying to get in as a third-place team, you're saying?
Yeah, 8 third-place teams make it. So you're going to have a lot of these teams that are on 3 points, on 2 points. Hell, even some teams on 1 point that with a win and a favorable draw. Right now, if Turkey A was in this situation where they needed a result against the United States of America, with the United States of America already set as group winners, their opponent already pretty much set in Bosnia-Herzegovina, you can take advantage of
Why
this
are you
matchup.
pointing at me when he says Bosnia-Herzegovina? I'm not from there.
You're not from there, but you told me that you like their fans yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Yeah, you could point at me with that. They got great fans.
So Ecuador right now is going up against Germany, and you would think, all right, favorable draw. Germany already set as group winners because of the head-to-head. Ecuador desperately need a win. Let's beat Germany. They're going to take this one for granted because they don't need it. Well, Germany apparently not going to have rotation. So this all comes down to how these teams play. And you can't – look, you got to still beat the guys. Mexico had some rotation in their squad, and they trounced Czechia. But I think that when you watch all these groups, you're going to have a live table to see what these machinations are in terms of where you go into the next round, a whole new round in an expanded World Cup where some teams are going to get in that, like South Africa, pull a random result out of their ass. They're in there finally, and it's a pretty easy draw for a team that ends up drawing them.
Scotland, guys.
Who's that?
Showed them the Bosnia fans.
Let me remind everyone, the Dan Le Batard Show and DraftKings Sports will be at the Lost Boy Clubhouse this Saturday.
Are you okay? You all right?
I am okay.
All right.
Jeez, can a guy not I'm trying to dance over here. When I'm dancing, you don't jump in. Join the Dan Le Batard Show and DraftKings Sports for Colombia versus Portugal, Saturday, June 27th, 7:30 p.m. at Lost Boy Clubhouse, 157 East Flagler Street in downtown Miami. Remember, DraftKings Sports is now available in all 50 states. See you there.
I know what you were doing.
Dancing.
That was you. No, you wanted to sound like a Lost Boy. Wow, it was a meta ad read. While advertising a.
What do the Lost
watch
Boys
party.
sound like?
You get me.
No, he just sounded lost, boy.
There is actually something on the
My
line
man.
in this matchup between Colombia and Portugal. Portugal still alive to win the group. Colombia wins the group with a draw or a victory. Now, the next opponent, pretty even. It's either going to be Ghana or Croatia. Ghana hasn't conceded. Croatia, last 2 World Cups, have made very deep runs. Once to the final, once a third-place finisher. I believe, they won the 3rd place against Morocco. So it's not really so much for your next matchup, as those teams are kind of level, but it's about how the bracket opens up for you. So I imagine both Colombia and Portugal are going to go for it. I don't know how much discussion you guys had about Portugal and how good they looked in their most recent match. And
now is that because Uzbekistan, they're not any good?
Uzbekistan has some injuries too, and they're not that good, but Portugal, and it appears that DR Congo is a tough matchup. DR Congo, I found out in their matchup against Colombia, they have this weird knack of having their midfield totally shredded, and yet you're looking at the score and you're like, how is DR Congo still in this? And then they get into threatening positions. But Portugal looked really good, and it wasn't in the clip that we pushed out there, but we did say, I guess one of the possibilities for Cristiano when we were having an is he washed, does he come off the bench? One of the options on the table was he could play better. We touched on that.
That's the best option.
Yeah, and he took option C, which was, he could play better. And I thought it was a really cool moment for Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm of the school of thought. It seems as though to be a soccer fan, you got to be a Messi or a Ronaldo guy. I've always been deeply appreciative to watch them both. Yeah. I like both guys. And I thought Cristiano's best moment, yes, he scored a brace. Yes, he was threatening. Yes, he looked good. He looked like he had top-end speed again. But I thought his best moment was a free kick outside of the box. He's acting his ass off. He had already scored. Everyone assumes
but
he's
the other guy took it.
Heat check, because Cristiano Ronaldo, not that great at free kicks anymore. Yeah. Honestly, like one of the weaker spots of what is a pretty great game. Hikes up his shorts like he always does, talking to himself like he always does.
You know about hiking up them shorts?
And then Nuno Mendes scores. And most of the attention was on Cristiano Ronaldo taking that free kick, and he does a good team thing there. Let the better free kick taker take it. I thought that was a really strong moment for him, and it was that performance, and I know it was Uzbekistan. That's what I saw in Portugal. That's what most people see in Portugal. That is a World Cup winning threat.
Do we want Pulisic to play tonight?
Not at all.
So why is he coming out and saying I'm available? Is that just because, hey, like I am healthy? If I don't play tonight, I want everyone to know I'm ready to go?
If the United States were playing Australia in a must-have situation, from people that I've spoken to, Pulisic would have featured. Say you need to grab a goal late, like he would have come in.
But he doesn't need to play tonight,
No.
For training purpose. Train over the next week before the knockout round. He doesn't need to go tonight.
He doesn't need to. There are some people that are like, hey, don't let me get cold. I want to be in a rhythm. I don't want to jump in a knockout stage game having not played in 2.5 weeks. More breaks here in between games because of larger field. So I get why he would say it. He's available to pick on the bench. And for me, that's where he shall stay. Stay on the bench. I don't need Christian Pulisic getting kicked in the shin by a bunch of dudes that are also on the other side getting their only opportunity to play in this World Cup, because I imagine Turkey is also going to have some rotation since they're out.
10 o'clock tonight. You up for the whole game tonight?
Absolutely.
Well, can I sweeten the pot by saying nothing in this match matters whatsoever?
Oh, yeah, I'm up for it. USA matters, baby.
Well, here's what's on the line.
10 o'clock.
This is an embarrassing stat, but Mauricio Pochettino can be the all-time World Cup winningest manager in U.S. men's history. He is presently tied with 2 wins. The United States doesn't win in this tournament all that much. They find their way to scratch and claw and get into the knockout stages when they're in it. 4th consecutive time when they qualify. 4th consecutive time they've made it this far. But group winners, winning matches, bossing games, that's not something that we're used to. It's pretty unprecedented territory, unless you want to go back to the 1930s, pal. So what you want to see here is potential history and some rotation. Let's see some of those other guys. Maybe Reyna comes in and puts up a good performance and makes you think he has something to offer when we go up against Bosnia.
Did you guys know wild turkeys sleep in trees?
What's a wild turkey?
What do you mean, what's a wild
turkeys
turkey?
in
Yeah,
the
what's a
wild.
wild turkey? That's exactly what I mean. What's a wild turkey?
A turkey that's not in the farm.
They run
A turkey
around.
that's not at Publix.
So doesn't a live turkey is a wild turkey?
I just always pictured them
No, not a live turkey. A turkey that's not in captivity.
Right, a wild.
Like, you understand
In the
that
wild.
there are turkeys that we breed for eating, and then there are turkeys that they just be out there living.
And
Hold on a second. We're not moving past this yet. There are turkeys that live in places that are not like the farm?
Yes.
Yes.
Where do I find those?
In the wild.
St. Augustine.
Boston has a lot of them. Like, if you're in the New England area, you'll run across a couple turkeys.
Like, I know birds live in trees, but I don't know. That surprised me that turkeys.
Not all birds live in trees, Chris.
How did you get to this?
Most
Were you
do.
looking up turkey
Jeez.
facts?
Famously, most do.
See, look at that.
This whole penguin
It
situation.
just
There's no trees.
That's a turkey egg.
I just would have thought turkeys like sleep the way a dog does on the floor.
Iguanas do this too.
Really?
Yeah, we have a lot of iguanas in my backyard, and almost all of them later in the day, or right around sunset, they just climb up into the trees and then sleep on the branches.
2020 is
Also, we
imperfect,
see
but I don't
we see
wanna go back
turkeys
to
a lot in St. Augustine, and we just look at them and go.
All right, don't
That's
do
what
that.
they sound
Baby.
like.
Don't do that again.
Are we not going to, like, we glossed over Scotland? Like, we spent a lot of this week hyping up the Army.
Yeah.
Oh, I taking over the city.
They were losers.
They're making our city dirty. They're
we
so
drank all the
loud.
beer.
They got a lot of beer. They do so many dances and songs.
Yeah.
Look at those cute kilts. Got that ass bust.
Turns out just a bunch of drunks.
Don't you dare put a cone on my quarterback legend's head.
That barrier did not help whatsoever
Oh,
at
gosh.
Miami Stadium. Dude, that. All right, Brazil. We were wondering what you're going to do in this tournament. You're older. I know Neymar is the star, but you can't expect anything out of Neymar. Vinicius is going to have to be the guy, and it plays into the larger story of this World Tournament for me, which is, man, the superstars are playing well.
Yeah.
All the names that – all right, what am I looking for here? Well, the face on the graphic promoting the game, that guy's got a bag of brace. He's going for 2 goals, it would seem. Vinicius was incredible. The high press from Brazil had Scotland in absolute hell. And now Scotland, in all likelihood, probably out. They need some luck. So that sucks because the Tartan Army, I know as a small business owner down here, really appreciated them. 5X that Tuesday night output. Thank you for coming to Las Rosas, Tartan Army. But yeah, it looks like they might be done.
Okay, now what ended up happening last night? Because last night that game was here. Brazil beat Scotland 3-0, but we spoke about it yesterday, Tony, where the big story was actually not what was taking place on the pitch between Scotland and Brazil. It's what could possibly take place above the pitch with the motherships.
Yeah.
Was there an alien invasion?
No alien invasion. We were all rooting for it. Everybody that
We were rooting for
We were all rooting for it. Everybody on social media was like, "Man, that's what we're gonna watch this
That
game."
shit would have been lit.
Can you imagine? All of a sudden, Vinny's about to score on his second goal, and then all of a sudden he gets he's floating. Where's the ball? Oh, the keeper just got shot into a mechanical arm inside of a mothership. But again, there we were. I watched the entire game, as I usually do, and when I'm watching World Cup games. But I'm there watching. No, because sometimes people watch like the first half, and they're like, "Oh, I got something better to do. It's 2-0." Like,
As I usually do.
Have the aliens showed up yet? All right, I'm out.
So I was actually taking care of my daughter, and I was like changing her diaper. I
If
was
the
out in other
alien
room.
showed up like late in the first half, do you then still watch the second half?
Yeah, I would have watched.
You would have stuck with it.
Yeah.
I
just
would like to see
what
the
happened.
ramifications of that would be.
Yeah. Do they treat it like a red card where you can't actually bring other people in? Or what are they going to do with the crowd? Half the crowd got taken too. So
No precedent.
No precedent. No alien invasion. I think the lady that was a psychic got one over on us.
Have we heard from her yet?
We haven't, but everybody in the world has been talking about this.
24 million followers, Dominique.
It's probably got a double by now because everybody's like, wait a second, I got to follow this lady for more stuff.
Can we look it up?
Oh, I will.
Yeah. How many?
Tony follows her.
Wouldn't you figure that she would?
Hold
She
on,
only
my
does
phone's-
Portuguese content, though,
Hello?
so I don't really know what she's saying.
Hello? Oh, scam unlikely. My bad.
It's a top tier turkey call.
Hello?
I would have figured that she would lose followers when the alien invasion doesn't happen. I mean, she's
No,
supposed to be a
attention
psychic.
currency. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you're actually good at what you do these
Heat
days.
is heat, baby.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. All right, so tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, you got the U.S. playing their final group game against Turkey.
You will be missing it. I'm gonna write you down as a no.
I've
10
been
p.m. Eastern is tough.
I've been a little bit under the weather lately. I have had a hard time staying up late this week. I'm going to try. I am.
Are you enjoying the World Cup?
Very much.
Yeah, like
Very much.
it's such a pop culture tentpole.
Although I
That's what
have
love
become the
about it.
face of the ugly American who likes the ad.
I
breaks.
like your take. I don't like the ads. I get it, but I'm also embracing it. I'm throwing fours up. I'm having fun with it. You're not going to stop FIFA from putting a commercial break in there.
Right. The biggest response that I get from everybody who's mad at me is if I didn't feel this way, maybe they wouldn't be doing it. I'm allowing it because I'm not outraged.
No, I think
I'm allowed.
You said in the clip you'd prefer no commercials with your sports, but it's not like it's a ton of commercials. And in some instances, it is an opportunity to change the game, which I get that part. Like there's some clear momentum shifts happening in some of these matches, which you can assume probably wouldn't happen otherwise. But everybody's playing by the same rules.
I mean, I understand your point, but in their defense, like this is like a sport that they still have they could stop the clock if they wanted to when the ball goes out of bounds. They don't do that. So the idea that we're introducing this brand new element, like, yeah, it's kind of weird. Introduce new elements to a game like this, and then they do. And like the VAR, we talked about all that. All those new elements, they feel a little weird for a game that's not very adaptive.
Dom, I'm not a huge fan of VAR. I think it's taken a lot of emotion from the game.
Well, especially when a goal is scored.
You've always kind of had that in soccer where you wait and the linesman throws up. There's always a bit of wait and see approach on close calls.
It sucks.
It's gotten really bad at the club level in the Premier League. As a Premier League fan, where every play the guy trots over to the screen, you have that kind of whole nonsensical approach to it, and it really slows the game down. They seem to have gotten it right here with all the Hawkeye technology. These calls are coming in quick. You can give yourself over to the emotion of the game a little bit more. I reckon that we've probably, even with the hydration break and commercial time, we've actually saved time on these games because of how quickly the technology is acting. I think these are very fluid breaks that are happening within the game when they search with their VAR officials for what happened there. I actually think that this is probably the best use of this new technology in the game. I'm happy with the pace of the game, even including a hydration break.
Quick update on the psychic from social media, Voy Bahana. She's at 24.4 million followers, so up 1.4 million since the prediction.
There you go. All right. This has worked out for her then. Mike, you were in Guadalajara the last few days. You went to how many matches?
Only one.
How was that, man?
It was incredible.
Yeah?
Yeah. Obviously, bad news
Who
came
played?
down beforehand. It was Colombia and DR Congo. I saw Lumumba in the flesh. I know people have a lot of feelings on that. Look, he's a soccer fan, and the Soccer Federation seems really cool with having him there, and he's a superstar when he walks. He's got aura there.
People don't like the Lumumba statue, man?
There are people out there that are like, look into his history, and I get it.
Lumumba's history? The actual Lumumba or Lumumba statue man?
No. The actual history of the actual Lumumba.
Yeah. That's I mean, that's
I know.
fun.
Look, it's a fun soccer fan.
I'm aware of it, but tell Jeremy.
No, like there was this like Colombian fan that I don't know if you've ever seen this pottery that comes from Colombia. Tony, do you know what I'm talking about? Where these characters, there's a guy that's like straight up in blackface.
Oh, yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
But there was a guy, and he was shown on the monitors. I'm like, that wouldn't have happened in the United States, I don't think. And he's like cheesing with Lumumba, like they're taking photos together. I'm like, well, cultural differences, no doubt. But let me tell you about my experience in Guadalajara. Dude, traveling abroad made this really feel like a World Cup. I've never gone to World Cup matches prior to this here. My first experience was in New York, in New Jersey for France-Senegal. And I've been to MetLife Stadium before. Different. Yeah, I can't believe the finals there. But I was like, oh, this is vibrant. But I didn't feel like it was anything special. I felt like the World Cup was just, playing into infrastructures that already existed, which they are. But going to a different country, you truly have an appreciation for just how gigantic the World Cup actually is. Like you're in a crowd very late at night watching Jordan and Algeria amongst thousands of Mexicans, and everyone's fixated on what's happening on the screen. It is such a big, beautiful world out there with so many cultures, And it took me going to another country to make it feel like, wow, to have a true appreciation for it, which I did. The stadium in Guadalajara was unbelievable. The people were incredible. The passion that Colombian fans have for their national team, pretty hard to rival that. And it was a great party, great festive atmosphere. All that's coming to Miami here in this next game. Loved my experience in Guadalajara.
I don't want to sound like ugly American, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
I'm watching the games yesterday, and I'm wondering, when there's
Why
a play,
they don't run the ball more?
when there's a play that happens that the players disagree with, it's always funny to me, by the way, when you got a bunch of guys from one team and a bunch of guys from the other team, and they're crowding the referee and they're all yelling, they're trying to get their point out. Like, can you imagine that in the NBA?
And then they push each other out of the way. They're like, no, you get out of the way.
Can you imagine the NBA? You got 10 guys from both teams just crowding the referee, and it's all allowed to happen. It's so weird. But the part that
it kind of does happen in NBA too.
But at least there's 3 referees where it's like they can all kind of.
Mike's doing the move though that the ref does of get away from me. I'm talking.
Like homeboy's on his own out there trying to fend off a bunch of other guys. It's always strange to me. But the part that I am wondering, what language is being spoken to the referee?
English is the official language of FIFA,
as it should be.
So if you're complaining to a referee, they usually have to try
so you're saying every referee then speaks English for sure?
Yes. In fact, if they ever have to go to the microphone and explain a call, they have to do so in English.
But I would imagine, though, that both teams who are playing don't necessarily speak English, so how are they communicating with the referee then?
They have to try to fight through it, or they'll say things in their native language and try their luck. Look, as someone that has traveled abroad a couple of times, I know when someone's angry at me, even when I don't speak the language. So there are plenty of ways that are universal.
I think the color of the kit in which has happened lets you know what this person is saying. They are saying what you are doing is wrong.
And controversially, they've introduced a rule that we saw with the Paraguay match where if you cover your mouth,
I saw that.
It's a red. I think that's so dumb. They got to do away with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, because
I think they should
covering
bring it.
his mouth. You don't know if he's actually saying anything bad.
But the way that I understand is it's not just if you're covering your mouth and talking. If the referee determines it's in a
contentious situation.
Yeah, in a contentious situation. Yes.
I mean, that is so subjective.
Yeah. They should bring that to baseball. You're ejected immediately.
Or in the NBA, they're putting their jerseys on. You're out of here.
It's an opportunity for a look-at-me referee such as Anthony Taylor to just
it happened a few days ago.
Totally.
For the first time.
Yeah, and that's another.
Dom, you know Anthony Taylor.
Oh yeah, but for Chris though, I mean.
Well, the referee that did it was also a bit of a look-at-me official. If you're familiar with FIFA, one thing that surprised me in terms of FIFA being the official language was the first voice that you would hear. This is Colombia. That was basically a host nation there. It was 99% Colombians. And I know DR Congo people have had issues coming over to the States and Mexico in part because of the quarantine. But the first voice that you hear in the stadium, even in Mexico, is a super American PA voice.
Really?
It was weird.
Hello and welcome.
Yeah, it was like that.
Me?
Checking in for Colombia. It was kind of
Uptown Pale was hosting in Guadalajara.
Yeah,
I wonder if
unexpected for sure.
If the English language, what it connotes in other places, because when we hear an English accent, no matter what they're saying, we it immediately feels fancy to us, even if to English people it sounds bad. I wonder what in different countries it probably is just scary. Actually, you hear people speaking English in an American accent, you're probably just oh.
I didn't look super American because I was repping Colombia pretty hard. Right. I like to cosplay as a Colombian. It's fun. I'm not Colombian, but I'm also Irish Italian. They're never in the GD thing. So my side hustle nation, it's Colombia. And it was only in conversation with fans at the Fan Fest where people deduced that I was American. And most people were like, so how do you feel about everything that's going on?
Really?
Yeah. And I would be like, I'd share my honest opinion there, and they would kind of nod okay. You're all right. They also had to speak to me in English because everyone has to adhere to this rule.
So I'm hoping that I'll be in a state where I'm feeling good enough. Like I said, I'm fighting a little bit of a cold. I'm hoping that I'll be able to stay up tonight for the U.S. game. But I think what will help me possibly stay up is I am going to the movies tonight. I'm taking my son. I'm taking my younger son. We're going to see Supergirl.
Oh, you getting the dick cup?
No.
You're getting the dick cup?
I would never get a dick cup. And we're
Why
going
not?
because I don't want a dick
Why
cup.
don't you get the dick cup and take a selfie with the dick cup, send it to your group chats, and be like, hey, I got the dick cup.
I saw David Korn sweat Superman. He does not like the dick cup. Somebody showed it to him there. He didn't like it.
Do you get other souvenir cups?
Veiny dick cup.
No, I don't get the souvenir
Okay,
cups.
okay. Well, then I'll allow it. I thought that it was just something about this cup that you did.
I went to He-Man last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it
With
was.
your son?
With my son.
Hey, it's enough of this.
I get this
man.
guy some friends.
Yeah, it's enough of this.
What do you
man.
mean it's enough of this?
I mean, every day I did it with my kids.
He's like my best pal. I love doing things with him.
I got a question for you. I know you now through work, so like as an employee, and I also hear a lot about you as a parent. I was wondering if we put it all together of like the 4 aspects of your life, do you think that you are a better employee, spouse, parent, or friend? Also, put that on the poll, Juju. Put it on the poll.
What are you the best at?
What are
of
you the
these?
best at? Like as an employee.
And what are the options?
Employee, so like where you work, your partner, so if you don't have a spouse, partner, or a parent. I guess you could throw pets in there. Maybe you're a pet parent.
And friend.
Or friend, because I think that I'm a pretty bad, like, I'm an inconsistent friend, but I come through big for friends. So, like, if you need me, I'm there, but I'm not going to call you all the time.
I think I'm only a good parent.
All right, so let me think again. What are you the best at? Employee, spouse, parent, or friend?
Yeah.
I think I'm a good employee. I think I'm easy to work with. All right, I think I'm a good worker. I think I'm a very good friend. Loyalty is very important
Make
to me.
sandwiches before a long trip.
That's true. Yes, I guess we're not going to ever let that go. I think I'm a great friend. Parent. Yeah, I mean, look.
So you're perfect. We got a perfect guy in here.
No, you're a damn good parent.
I think I'm a good parent, but I also, like, I'm self-aware enough to let you know, like I told you this yesterday, all these things that I'm doing with my son, these are all, it's an excuse for me to do all the things that I want to do. Like, I want to see Supergirl tonight, and I'm lucky my son is into the same shit that I am.
Well, watching sex scenes is one thing. That would go in the negative column.
I
for
don't
a
think they
parent.
got any in Supergirl. You might want to buy a different ticket. You guys going to be disappointed.
I think the thing that I'm weakest at, though, would be being a spouse because of all those things that we just mentioned there. Yeah. I get much less criticism as an employee, as a parent, as a friend than I do from my spouse. Like, my spouse, my wife, will criticize me. So that has to be the one I'm weakest
What do we
at.
think comes back just with our whole audience? What comes back? I think the two favorites to be the lowest percentage are friend and employee.
Yeah.
I think everyone thinks.
I think parent's going to be super high.
Everyone
well,
thinks
lowest percentage means, okay, so they don't think they're the best at that.
I think people think they're the worst at those two things.
I think parent's going to be high because I think
Everyone thinks they're a good parent.
And I think that good parents get told that they're good parents, and I think bad parents get told that they're good parents.
Really?
Because the only time I tell a parent you're doing a good job is when they're doing a terrible job. Like if you are struggling, the kids are running your life, I'm like, hey, buddy, you're doing all right. You're doing it. And I mean, what the hell is going on? I never go up to a parent whose kids are like super well behaved and be like, hey guy, you kids, I haven't even noticed you. You're doing a great job.
It
I
is
only
true.
go up to
Like
the ones that are drowning.
At like like at Yale's graduation ceremony, no one's going up to the graduate's parents and say, hey, you're doing a great job. Right?
I mean,
like we all know they're doing a great job.
Well, they aren't necessarily.
Probably if your kid graduated from Yale.
Nah.
But is he balanced? What's he like to talk to?
I also think that, like, this is me, like, projecting some from my parental experiences. Like, the kids kind of who the kids are. And, like, I raised all my kids kind of the same. All very different. And you meet them all in different settings. You're like, hey, you're doing a good job on that one. I'm like, hey, I didn't really, like, teach my daughter how to be able to sit down and focus for hours straight to do her homework. She just was born that way. Like, we didn't do, like, concentration practice. I didn't do that.
But you
She
don't
just
think
happens to
that
be
if
really
you
good
were a
at it.
shitty parent, they wouldn't be different kinds of shitty then?
Oh yeah, I think you can mess it up, but I don't think that you can like do much more. You can give them access, you give them love, you can do those things, but like the way that we measure people's parenting ability is by the results that their kids produce. And we assume that the kids who are the most successful had the best parents, which actually kind of is not true. It's like thinking that the best coaches always win the championship, even though they don't have the best talent. It's like some kids are born with a lot of useful skills. Some kids aren't. And
There are plenty of parents who are good parents and their kid ends up being a drug addict.
And there's plenty of parents who are terrible parents whose kids turn out to be incredible.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
It's just, I don't know. It's weird.
I'm having a bit of a crisis of identity right now, realizing I think employee might be my answer.
That's tough.
And that's really bad. I don't want that to be the
Mr.
case.
Bootlicker?
Yeah.
Why is that a bad thing?
Mr. The Man is
Nah,
loving
'cause you
Jeremy's work?
I think if I guessed, Jeremy would want to be a better spouse
That's
and
right.
partner. Like he sees himself as someone who's generous and kind.
Takes a lot of
and
pride in
Yeah,
thoughtful.
but he's way too long-winded in meetings, though.
Finally,
that was just too
finally
real.
Someone said it.
I think I'm a great spouse, though. I actually think I'm probably a better spouse than I am parent. I think I'm good at.
You want to rethink that, or you
No.
said that? Like,
Well, it
maybe
sounds like
not.
he's thinking about it.
I'm
No,
also too
because-
long-winded in foreplay.
Not long enough, I guess.
What about Roy?
I'm not good at anything, man.
That's not true. That is not true. You don't have to do the self-deprecation.
That's not so. That's the truth. It's facts. I'm not good at anything.
Well, that was a bad end, yes, so it's not worker.
Yes, and.
Yes, and.
See, damn.
Right now, early results, spouse and employee are coming in the lowest. Like, people think they're the best friend.
Spouse
and
is going to
parent.
be low.
People think they're good friends and parents
I'm
right now.
shocked at that because I assume that we have like a predominantly male audience, and
That's
men,
why spouse is going to be low.
I feel like men are bad friends and good spouses. I don't know. I
think men are great friends.
Well,
really?
as long as I'm not cheating, I'm a good spouse, right?
That's
are
the
there
bar?
other factors of this?
Not having sex with other women is
There's
the
a few
bar.
other parts of it.
Yeah, I'm not a great spouse. I don't cheat, but yeah, I'm not good.
I mean,
I gotta listen better.
From what I understand, your entire retirement plan's going over to trading cards right
Yeah,
now.
I gotta be better with my money.
So I assume that's also
Oh, my
part
wife
of
hates
it.
my wife hates me right now.
He starts the day today telling everybody he's got to get out from under this new addiction that he has.
It's bad. I'm not even kidding.
He can't stop buying trading
This is
cards.
me asking for help.
He
But
continues to buy into breaks.
It's not even like buying straight out trading cards. It's like
He's
kind
buying
of
into
a-
breaks.
I'd
I'm
never heard of
gambling
this.
on sports cards.
I'd
I'm,
never heard
I'm
of
on
this.
this app that you can just like
Explain what buying into breaks is.
you basically it's like this company says I'm going to open 8 box of cards here, and you can bid on. There's 260 names of athletes that could potentially come in these 8 boxes.
Potentially.
So now you're going to bid a dollar amount on a random draw of those 260 names.
Okay.
So they're at $4, $5. Sometimes it can get up there into the $10 or $11. That's when it gets dangerous. But if you're in that $5, $6 range, you spin the wheel. You could get Jackson Dart, or you could get a lineman you never heard of. It's kind of the roll of the dice because those cards won't be worth anything.
Right.
So it's just I've been doing this for weeks.
Can
but I'm
you then
I'm losing money essentially.
Do you then flip the cards? Can you post them up there
That's the idea.
to be gambled on?
Yes.
Or?
Oh no, I have a handful of cards. Like I have this Josh Allen card that's sold for $800.
You're going to
Like,
lose your house, right?
I could essentially sell my bulk of good cards for a couple $1,000s.
Oh my God, you're gonna lose everything.
But I don't know how to do that. So
$12 at a time.
It's
Let me get them.
the rush.
I'll sell
though.
it for you.
The rush of when that thing is spinning and you land on Tyler Shuck. My God.
That's a good thing.
I'm
So you
in
have a
cards,
gambling
all you
addiction.
want is rookies. And last year, so you want the last year's rookies. So right now, Jackson Dart's a big one. You know, Tyler Shuck. It's crazy. Like Quinn Ewers, I'm telling you, it's
Good
just
player.
they love rookie quarterbacks. If you have a rookie quarterback
course.
card, it's worth something.
Rookie quarterbacks, rookie wide receivers, running backs.
But I'm broke. Of all my play money. Don't be alarmed, everyone. I'm still paying my bills, but like, you know, my money goes in different, you know, everyone would do this. Our money, like some money goes to bills, some goes to like, all right, you can have a little fun with this. I don't have any more.
It's only football though. They don't do basketball or
No,
baseball.
all the cards
Yeah,
are
they
They do
ours.
everything. Yeah.
But football and basketball, especially basketball, football and basketball are the biggest, I believe, with the cards, with the trading cards. I know because my son works in one of these stores.
I never got into trading cards. Like Tony, I feel like you've been judging me a little this week. You might judge me for this also. I had like a binder that had some football cards, had some baseball and basketball cards, but more than anything, it had like Marvel superhero cards.
It's a bad look.
I had a snake, and Marvel superhero cards.
Not only that, you were talking about Jackass the other day. Like, if you like Jackass, like there's a good like Venn diagram of like Snake Kids, of Jackass likers, of that kind of stuff. Where I'm just like, I don't know if I like what Dominique's got going.
I like Jackass. I've always never wanted to like Jackass, and then you got a
You a
baby
snake kid?
You got a baby alligator biting your dick. It's funny. it's funny.
It's Preston and Wee Man for me.
It's not
Love their
funny
dynamic.
anymore. It's not funny
It's
anymore.
always funny when an animal of some sort bites your dick. I'm like, wow,
You're 60.
Steve-O's crazy.
Did you see
like,
them
how
at-
are you still having that gator bite your dick at 60?
Did you see them at Banana Ball like a week back? Like Johnny Knoxville got in front of the plate and took one right in the face.
Yeah, I like, oh man, that looks gross. Is someone gonna do that? Not me, right? So,
Right, but
It's
they were
funny.
not 60-year-old people.
I mean,
feel-
it's even funnier when you're 60.
No, it's so sad. It just feels like these guys, like, did you put a little bit of coin away? A little something saved
No,
up?
clearly they didn't. That's why they're
That's where
still
our number
doing
5.
Yeah, the new one's coming out,
it.
right?
Also, very few people are like, all right, I've made a decent amount of money. I'll stop. Most people want more money.
I get it, but at what cost?
Yeah, you're gonna put the electrocution thing on your dick again.
Yes.
And then walk a tightrope
Yeah,
where
make
you
it,
fall.
Make it look
again.
like Godzilla. Yeah, make it look like Godzilla. Make something biting you in the dick look like Godzilla.
I find the Jackass movies, if you ever pass it on television, I always stop on it, and it's hypnotic. Like, I can't change the channel. I just zone out and watch.
Get in that porta potty. Now drop it from a crane.
That's funny, you see? That's funny.
Shoot the guy out of a cannon into cactus.
Let's have an escape room with, let's borrow some of those cactuses that you were talking about, litter it with cacti, mouse traps, and try to find this light switch. And do so as a 63-year-old man.
That's funny, Dom.
That's the good shit.
with your balls out.
The Dan Le Batard Show and DraftKings Sports will be at the Lost Boy Clubhouse this Saturday.
Are you okay? You all right?
I am okay.
All right. Nick, before we let you talk about the Steelers, you're in luck because we have the Love Doctor. The Love Doctor is here. He is ready. He is in his office right now. Dr. Greg Cody getting everybody ready for Mother's Day this weekend. And we have questions. The Love Doctor is going to have the answers. Who's up first?
I know a lot of people are going to come to you and they're going to want to know, how do you keep it interesting? Me, I'm not interested in interesting. So how do you keep it predictable? How do you keep it ho-hum? How do you just let it just be?
Was that Jason Tatum asking that question?
Young lady, you are my kind of gal. That's my lane. That's my lane of romance. I invented predictable. Nobody has perfected the art of dull routine like yours truly. As a matter of fact, little inside information here, my wife and I schedule our naughty time months in advance, like doctor's appointments. Quite often, she'll have to cancel because she said something came up. Unfortunately, sometimes I'll have to cancel because something didn't come up. That kind of thing.
It's a good look for us.
Do we have another question for the Love Doctor here after such great advice?
With Chris listening.
Oh, we're doing it, baby.
What are you guys doing, man?
Oh, you want question number 2?
Yeah, let's go question number 2.
Oh, yeah, Greg. Hey, man, I need your help, man. So I'm out of town for Mother's Day, trying to figure out what can I get my girl for Mother's Day in another city.
Oh, wow. Buddy, I'm worried about this. Not one, but 2 of the Love Doctor's marriages began rending like cheap fabric when Greg was either out of town at a sporting event or away at a doctoral conference. And the exes were doing the clandestine bumpy bump behind my back. Jack, I suggest you get your girl what you'd never expect, a private eye to keep an eye on her randy ass.
You know about that randy ass, Nick?
I don't like this at all.
Thank you, Love Doctor. Don't go anywhere. We may go back to you. Appreciate you.
I don't like this at all.
Somehow the least embarrassing Cody on today's show.
Wait till Nick finds out that Chris, with Greg sitting nearby, admitted about a half an hour ago that when he's having a hard time becoming aroused, he thinks of his wife's twin sister to get in the mood.
It was a shocking revelation.
That's what happened, Nick.
Shocking.
That happened.
Yeah, he did.
No, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. He did.
It was shocking.
Unnecessary also.
I don't like... This isn't... Again, I might need a mean here. This isn't K-Fab. K-Fabe?
K-Fabe.
Which is it? I don't know.
K-Fabe, wrestling nerd here at your service.
This isn't...
Zaz could have
Thanks,
helped
Mike Ryan. This isn't K-Fabe. I don't like this at all. And I would appreciate if you guys turned the music off. This is not great.
So the Steelers. Are you ready to do your catchphrases? I heard there's some controversy around the. It's the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody. He is counting down his top 50 catchphrases of all time. It has been a successful months-long joke. What is the controversy surrounding your catchphrase list? What is the issue?
It's big. The controversy is that based on quality demand, the catchphrase countdown has suddenly increased from a top 50 to a top 60.
What?
That's
What?
right. And it's controversial.
Of course it is. You told us it was a top 50, and we told you it was something you were making up as you went along, and that you weren't going to get the numbers right, and now you just changed it.
He botched it to such a degree that there are so many good ones left that we're just pushing all the
I knew that was going to happen, though. That's exactly what we were saying.
Your brain beating me.
How did this happen? What was the ruling? What did the committee get together and decide? How did it happen that it got expanded? Now, no one's going to complain about this because more catchphrases is great, but we told you this was going to happen, and we told you this was a sloppy list by you.
The others, they all learn from me.
Yeah, right.
No, I looked at all the catchphrases remaining, and there was only 14 left, but there were like 20-something good ones, so I'm like,
Thank you.
Let's go.
So wait a minute. So how did you do it though? Are there now is there now a new list 50 to 60 or
No.
what are you doing?
Everything that's been said is just like what was 50 is now 60.
Yes.
There were 14 left, and now there's 24
So we're
left.
not in the top 20
No,
anymore?
now we're at 23
we were
and
in the
24.
top 20 of the countdown, and now we're at 24?
I'm telling you, they're bangers, though. There are just bangers
There
left.
is nobody that's actually upset about this development. Come on.
You've got to honor the list,
I'm
though.
telling you, I got a peek. I don't know the exact order, but I got a peek of what the top 10 looks like, and it is just banger after banger.
Yeah, Yeti hated it. He's against it.
Yeti thinks that we should just make him live with the world he gave
You
us.
should.
Like
I mean,
there's-
I asked you several times throughout this whole process. Have you thought this out? Have you planned out the list? You know that there are 50. You kept assuring me that you have it all under control.
Driver comfort is paramount.
He ain't wrong. You know, part of the beauty of me is a bit of serendipity, a bit of
You're the kind of guy.
unpredictability. And so the same is true with this list. Okay, whenever you do a countdown, Zaz, bank this information for your future. Whenever you
What has Stone Cold been up to?
I thought you'd never ask.
Oh, the saga of Poncho and Steve.
It's so funny because Stone Cold Steve Austin he's a cat person apparently. He's a cat guy. No one would have expected. Okay, you're raising your hands like that, Dom, because you're clearly a cat guy.
I mean, I've been disrespected around here.
Another strike.
Yeah, I'm a
Snake
cat
guy, Jackass guy.
Bet you won't say it to Stone Cold's face.
Now there is a difference though between being a cat guy who you prefer cats over dogs, and just being someone who likes cats. Those are two different things.
No, the truth of the matter is I'd rather have a dog, but my wife is allergic to dogs, and also I have young kids, and kids don't take care of dogs. I don't need another responsibility. Cat takes care of himself. Stone Cold Steve Austin's got it figured out.
I love cats.
See, like I will tell you, no one is surprised at that. So
Nobody is surprised.
I would tell you, I like dogs over cats.
Also not surprising.
I have 2 dogs, but I do like cats. Like I would have a cat.
You don't like them enough.
I would have a cat. My wife hates cats. She thinks they're the devil. So she refuses to have a cat in the house.
My best friend Marcus Spears said of my cat, in general cats, he doesn't like cats either. I can't trust anything that could sneak up on me.
Swagoo's your best friend?
Best friend.
Wow.
So it's weird.
one of your best friends.
It's a joke between he and I where a couple of years ago we were laughing about how we aren't great friends to people, and we decided that grown men don't have best friends. We're like, you know what? I'm best friend. And so whenever we introduce each other, like, this is my best friend, Marcus Spears. It's my best friend, Dominique Foxworth. So go to Marcus, ask him who his best friend is. He'll say me, and then he'll laugh. He doesn't like cats because they sneak up on you. And I was like, yeah, fair point. Anything that can sneak up on you, can't trust it. You don't hear them. And they're explosive athletes. Like, it's crazy. They just bounce all around the house.
One of my parents' cats, like me and him, we had an understanding. I'm never gonna pick you up. I might like scratch the top of your head once a year. But towards the end of this cat's life, he would just start shitting in my bathroom. A cat on like the carpet. I'm telling you, these
not
things.
the toilet, because they have some of those.
These
cats.
things are vindictive. Like I'm telling you, this wasn't just I'm old, I'm shitting. Like he's like, I'm gonna go shit in his bathroom on the carpet.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. When you say there are those cats who will shit in the toilet, I know.
I meant the litter box. I'm sorry.
I know we saw that.
Some cats do that.
No. I think Mike is talking about there are cats who shit in the toilet.
Right. Jinxie.
Like there is that scene with Jinxie Cat where Jinxie is taking a shit and Gay Fokker, he opens up the door and he's like, "Oh, excuse me." And then he realized, wait, why is the cat taking a shit in the toilet? You're telling me that's a real thing?
Yeah, that's a real thing.
There are some cats who are trained to do that?
Yeah, plenty of gifs out there on the internet.
I mean,
those are real.
I think that it's, you like just move the litter box. is the strategy. You move the litter box closer and closer to the toilet until you put it on the toilet, then you put it in the toilet, and then the cat.
It's a lot of work for you picking up their shit to move it around in different
Look
places.
how well versed my man is
Well, I
on
mean,
training cats out of shit in a toilet. Who knew?
Do you do that?
No.
Why not?
Well, mostly because I want to make my kids do something. It's like as something that easy they can do, and I can check quickly and get mad at them daily for when they don't do it.
I have my daughter feeding my dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is your chore.
Yeah.
In the morning and in the evening.
I started
Feed the dog.
having my son, like, he forgets things. So it's like, in the morning, every morning, I need you to write down the 5 things that you need to accomplish today. Write them down. Get them done. We're going on 2 weeks now. Haven't gotten all 5 done yet. He writes them down. Gets 3, maybe 4. I think he's intentionally holding off on the 5th thing.
He's shooting 80%. Like, what do you want him to do?
Hundo, baby, hundo. They're not hard things. I'm not like build a house.
Yeah, sure. Okay, sure. Speaking of house, I got a situation at my house. I have a shed in the backyard that's like a lifted shed so things can get underneath it.
No, we got a wild cat situation.
We had one cat, right? We had one cat that was there. It's an orange cat, skinny cat. Kind of like, a cat that you look at and be like, I don't want that guy around me. Like, I don't know what he's up to, right? The good news is there's no rats, there's no mice, there's no rodents, there's no snakes, there's nothing in my yard because he's kind of the defender of the house. So the other day, I'm with my daughter. We're looking out at the pool. I'm at the sliding glass door. I look over, and I see something moving in kind of like the area of the shed, and I kind of look real close. 3 kittens pop out from underneath the shed. They're like this big. They're like literally a hand, like a size of a hand. And I'm like, oh, shit, what do I do with these cats? And the mom cat came out. So now I've got 5 cats living underneath the shed of my house, and I cannot feed them. I cannot give them water whatsoever. They have to leave. I don't know how to evict them, though. They don't pay rent under my shed.
You got to get them adopted.
You want to come over?
I
and
can't
get
say
them?
out loud what you need to do.
You get them adopted.
You have a squatter situation.
I do. A cat
I like that.
squatter.
Jeremy got a little euphemism. Yeah, get them adopted. Winky, winky.
No, get them adopted.
Yeah,
But
adopt
They
them.
just take a little picture. They're adorable.
Oh,
Someone
we're
will
calling
adopt
it a
them.
picture. Okay.
No, I don't want to get too close because the cat's kind of mean. It's got like a scar on the back of its head. Like he's been through some shit.
Wait, animal control doesn't take him to a happy place?
Definitely not.
In my parents' neighborhood, they caught all the stray cats and fixed them and then re-released them into the neighborhood so that they can still be neighborhood
So my
cats, but
mother-in-law's
they're not
doing
gonna
right now.
multiply.
They're killing these cats when you're like, hey, I have cats in my
Yes.
shed.
No, they're not. They're
They're
taking him to a happy place. It's a ranch. It's a cat ranch. Cats love ranches. They
Kitty
take him to a
ranch.
cat ranch, and
Oh, they're taking them to a shelter. They're not killing them on the spot. At
No,
that
not
point,
on the
it's
spot.
fine.
Not on the spot. Not
That's
on the
what the
spot.
kitty ranch is?
Well, to answer your question, Zaz, about what's going on with Stone Cold Steve Austin and his cats. His cats gave him a Father's Day present.
Oh, wow.
Would you like to watch video and hear sound of that?
Yeah.
Check this out. A bucket of beer on ice. And a letter. Dad, to the best dad in the world, happy Father's Day. P.S. We wanted to get you a card, but Mom would not let us take the car into town. Love, Honcho and Macho. God dang it. If I wasn't the toughest son of a bitch in the world, I'd start crying like a baby. These fucking cats, they never cease to amaze me. And they put this in my chair. It's where I sit when I'm with them. Poncho, you little motherfucker. You're the best cat in the world. Oh, look at him. I love it, buddy. I love it. Poncho!
God damn it!
Poncho!
Like 80% sure he knows that the cats didn't actually write that letter, but there is that 20%.
Gonna revisit this mother.
strong cats. They lift up the ice bucket, put it on the chair.
That's good. That's good stuff.
I could watch that guy do about anything at this point.
He's the best.
And I mean anything.
Oh, baby. The voice is, the voice is great. He's a cat guy.
He's a cat guy.
So is Jaylen Brown, by the way. He tweeted it last night. I love cats. And speaking of, apparently the Minnesota Timberwolves checked in on Jaylen Brown, but decided to go with LaMelo. This is per John Krasinski, who covers the Timberwolves. He said the Wolves did have discussion with the Celtics on Jaylen Brown as well, sources told The Athletic. But they saw LaMelo Ball as fitting more of what they needed for likely less compensation going out.
Give us the details on who they discussed for Jaylen Brown, because Anthony Edwards didn't ask for any of this. So they definitely dangled somebody of worth over there to Boston.
I mean, it would have had to have been Jaden McDaniels.
Well, let's get him upset. I'm all for people being upset, especially now as a destination once again.
It might have just been the Nas Reed thing. They might have just shopped the same Nas Reed deal and realized that they couldn't get Jaylen Brown with it, so then they took it down to the Queen City and was like, give me LaMelo.
Buzz City.
Don't ruin the fun.
No, they may have
I'm sorry,
dangled
my
Anthony
bad, my
Edwards.
bad. No, I think
And
you're
Rudy
right.
Gobert.
I think you're right.
Probably the whole team.
Maybe Boston counter was like, well, how about Jason Tatum?
Ooh.
You know, that could happen. Let's just make
You want to
all
report
this
it?
shit
You
up.
can't rule it out. You cannot rule out that Boston offered Jason Tatum to the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm looking right into the camera when I say this. You cannot rule out, based off of this report, that Jason Tatum was offered by the Boston Celtics to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Can't rule it out.
That's good work out of you.
Can't rule it out. So I want to bring your attention to actually a couple of things that took place yesterday. Let me take you to the world of the WNBA. That's right. I'm going to take you to the WNBA here, Dominique. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm this big WNBA fan, but I will tell you that because, I also work at ESPN, I'm very aware of what's going on with the WNBA, when in past years, I wouldn't have paid any attention.
Not because you love basketball.
Or respect women.
Yeah, it's just because you work at ESPN, but go, yeah.
I mean, there are some things that I do like about the WNBA, but for the most part, like the league can kind of be a lightning rod with certain stories, all right?
Yeah.
And so I do pay attention. I do know what's going on. And yesterday, let me start off by showing you this here. And for the audio audience, I will tell you there was a poster that was released yesterday, a 30-year commemorative WNBA poster. And every team is represented on this poster. And it's either an all-time great who played for that team, like you could see the Minnesota Lynx, Maya Moore is represented.
Right, legends. Got to have legends on there.
And if it's not a legend, they're showing you a current player. Like you see the Dallas Wings right there, it's Paige Beckers. Well, also in the second row there is the Indiana Fever.
Oh, yeah, they got to have the biggest star that they've ever had in the history of the Fever and possibly in the history of the league, right?
You would think that they would put Caitlyn Clark. No, it was Sophie Cunningham.
What?
That they put representing Indiana there. And I don't like to get caught up in all of the Caitlyn Clark stuff because
but we about to do it, ain't we?
Well, because this one I think it's weird. I think it's weird where you are putting out a collector's item, okay? Something that you're charging for. Like, hey, buy this 30-year commemorative item. And how would you not have – like, I don't think every decision that's made, needs to be Caitlyn Clark here everywhere, Caitlyn Clark here, Caitlyn Clark here. Like, it is okay to profile other players, obviously. But if we're talking about putting out something that you would like to get publicity and certainly like to earn money, is there any reasonable answer as to why Caitlyn Clark would not be on the poster?
Well, I mean – I'm surprised also that they chose Sophie Cunningham because I would think that you could make the argument to the point that you made that it's a lightning rod league at times. Caitlyn Clark is someone who garners strong opinions, so I would argue that maybe they wanted to be just more universal and to get no pushback, but you don't choose Sophie Cunningham if that's who you want to put on there. But there's also the potential.
Like, she's not a star. Like, okay, she's got her podcast, and she's kind of like a tough guy, So in that sense, she's become a known player. But in no way, shape, or form is she a star player.
And she's also kind of outspoken in ways that I think would push people away. But I think I would say that the only other option is that it's possible that Caitlyn Clark, who is an enormous star and has lots of value, is like, maybe I don't want to be on this poster. I don't know. You can't rule that out, as Jeremy taught me. I can always fall back on what you can't rule out. You can't rule out that potentially Caitlyn Clark is like, nah, don't put me on this poster. I'm selling posters for much more than that. What is the compensation? Like, that's a chance, right?
I mean, if that were to come out, let's say it's true, that would be incredibly damning for Caitlyn Clark that she doesn't want to be a part of something that is promoting the history of the league.
I'm just trying to find the way that this could be explained in a way where it's not a snub or it's not like anything that would upset people or feel like this league is turned on Caitlyn Clark in a way. Because if I can understand, I remember the old video games, Michael Jordan wouldn't be in the game, and it was because Michael Jordan was like, no, you pay me more than you pay for the group licensing agreement for all these other players because I'm not these other players. So it's possible that Caitlyn Clark is like, I'm not these other players. Don't put me in this if you're going to be selling it. I can make a lot more money elsewhere in my poster. Like, that's the best thing I come up with. Otherwise, it feels kind of awkward. And again, I'm not as much of a WNBA watcher or fan as you, but I do know that Caitlyn Clark is a big star. And if you want to commemorate the history of the WNBA, the 30-year history, it's important. If you're picking one person from every team that you feel like represents that team in some way, it's hard for me to name very many other players other than Caitlyn Clark from the Fever.
I mean, if you're promoting your league, wouldn't you want, unless Dominique is right, if you're promoting your league, wouldn't you at every opportunity want to include Caitlyn Clark?
I know it's a poster. That doesn't seem like a promotional material. I feel like I really got to love the W to buy that poster.
Right.
Was that a Miami Soul logo on it?
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't see.
Yeah, first row in the middle.
First row in the middle. Was that a Miami Soul
Did they have someone
logo?
representing the Soul?
Because the Connecticut
Did they have Ruth
Sun.
Riley? Was Ruth Riley there for
They
the
have
Soul?
the Connecticut Sun logo below it, so I think that they honored even the failed franchises.
Oh, yeah, look up there. That is a Soul right up there at the top. But they didn't have a player representing the team. They just have the logo there up at the top. Okay. That's a good catch by you there, Mike. Excellent job.
Wait, Swoops was the Houston Comet?
Yeah. Yeah, they have Cheryl Swoops there. They have Maya Moore, Lisa Leslie.
I got a bigger beef with Cynthia Cooper not being on this one. Yeah.
You can only pick one player from the
No,
team.
you see, you want to have this modern-day argument. Coop definitely deserves it more.
Really?
Yeah.
You got Shamiqua Holdsclaw, I think that is, on the right there, for the Liberty.
All right. You're showing off.
Yeah, you're doing too much.
So yesterday, that was not the only Caitlyn Clark
It's like
news.
me saying Paraguay. Easy.
Yeah, I let you slide on that. You said it. It grabbed my ear.
I'm not changing.
It grabbed my ear.
Uruguay, Paraguay. It's fine.
I mean, if I got to say Turkey, why can't I practice doing everything right?
Paraguay. You have some people going like, you're a gay. What?
Huh?
What?
So that wasn't
Nothing
the
wrong with
only Caitlyn Clark story from yesterday.
It's not me.
So the Fever played last night, and last night Caitlyn Clark, all right, during the game, it was, there was a scramble under the basket. They were playing Phoenix. Phoenix won the game last night. Game was at Indiana. And underneath the basket, Caitlyn Clark falls down. And for the video audience here, you could see the still image. Caitlyn Clark is on her back underneath the basket, and Alyssa Thomas from Phoenix kind of falls on her. And you know that move, you especially see it in football, like when you're getting up from a pile, where like the defensive lineman will kind of push down on the running back as he's getting up for leverage. But it's like also kind of, hey, I'm also going to push you and make you really uncomfortable. Yeah. And Alyssa Thomas does this to Caitlyn Clark, except she does it with her fist in Caitlyn Clark's neck. And, you can't really make the excuse that she's just using her for leverage to get up because nobody gets up from the ground by using their fist, So she's got her fist in Caitlyn Clark's neck while she's getting up. I mean, Dominique, it's pretty egregious, right? Like, and no foul was called.
Yeah, I mean, this still image looks very bad. I saw the video this morning. It seemed unnecessary. The thing is, stuff like you mentioned in football and honestly in basketball, like stuff like this happens in sports all the time. I'm careful because I made the point earlier that I don't watch a lot of WNBA. Big games, the finals, and when there are big matchups that are super hyped, I'll watch it. So I feel like my algorithm, and it might be true of yours and other people's, where my algorithm is right now feels like it's flooded with people going after Caitlyn Clark in different ways. So I'm not sure if this is like an event that happens a lot more to her than anyone else, or it just so happens that she's a star, so we're getting a lot of it. So like I'm
right.
hesitant.
It could be both. I mean, it could be
I'm
both.
hesitant to like make grand proclamations. That play looked like it was a little bit intentional.
It looks bad. And then so the Phoenix Mercury Twitter account.
Yeah.
After the game, they tweeted out like well, I don't want to say anime, like a cartoon sketch of Caitlyn Clark on the ground, crying on the ground, and the caption above it says, "Do want a piece of this?" And DeWanna Bonner also plays for Phoenix. DeWanna Bonner is married to Alyssa Thomas, who is the one who, kind of punched down on Caitlyn Clark's throat. And it's like, it's getting really hard for me to dance around this now. That's a weird tweet. I'm doing my dance. I can't really like that.
Kind of like I danced earlier?
Yeah, just exactly like that. The organization tweeting something like that out is really uncommon. That's weird that they tweeted that out. And yeah, Tony.
It's like when Ndamukong Suh stepped on the ankle or whoever it was of the Packers player, or on his calf or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the Lions sending out like, "Hey, watch your step."
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what it's like. It's really weird. There's this flagrant moment from the game last night, which may have been intentionally hostile. It went uncalled, and the team is making fun of the player who took a fist to the throat. It's strange. And then after the game, Stephanie White, who is the coach of the Indiana Fever, here she was post-game.
And then number 2, you're coming in here aware of what happened 2 nights ago? And that still happens? Absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. And the reckless closeout that they actually reviewed, and the foot still comes down on top of the defender's foot that wasn't upgraded? Absolutely disrespectful. We have a generational talent and a WNBA superstar who had 2 cheap shots right there that weren't called. And I just say again, absolutely unacceptable.
It's a weird league, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's superstars. We saw it happen in to the Alien in the finals. Like, you're going to be a star player, you're going to get some of these things. So, like, I don't want to pretend like it's somehow unique to this sport and to this player.
But, like, you weren't getting this, starting with Victor Wembanyama's rookie year. Like, it'd have been like if NBA players, like they weren't trying to take out the hyped-up rookie in the Victor Wembanyama. Like, now they're just doing things to him that, you do to any player.
Right. I mean, no, they go above and beyond to Victor. Like, and Victor has fought back and throws elbows and does those things. I think that's one of the things that we all have to, like, be aware of is, like, treat it like a regular sport. And some of the stuff is dirty, and that happens in sports sometimes. So, like, I don't know. I think it's important to follow. It's something that we care about when there are big games and big moments. But you also have to, like, acknowledge that we ain't steeped in it in a way that to completely understand it,
Mm-hmm. On social, there are some people trying to insinuate that the tweet was not intended for Caitlyn Clark.
Because the jersey in the photo is purple.
Yeah, and DeWanna Bonner did hit an and one in their game and fell to the ground. This is the photo.
Does she wear the same number as Caitlyn Clark? 22?
That this should depict. I mean, I can look for that for you.
Because that would be important. Caitlyn Clark is 22.
Let's see.
We're going to pull the tweet up again.
And Caitlyn Clark's got the ponytail, which is in the picture.
Where's 24, according to Google AI?
Does the picture say 22 or does the picture say 24?
Let's see.
Kind of hard to tell. Yeah. Is DeWanna Bonner 24?
24.
And is that a 22,
Roy
Dominique, or a 24? Yeah, 24.
Yeah. Oh, this is important.
We were wrong.
Yep.
I mean, we don't know. Like, I don't know the answer.
I think it's a 4. I think it's a 4.
Yeah, that's a 4.
I think it's a 4.
That's a 4.
All right.
Way to go, Mercury.
Congratulations, everyone.
Okay.
Hey, we got it right at the end.
We avoided big controversy.
Thank you, Lewis.
Good job, Jeremy.
We avoided the big controversy.
All right, the Florida Panthers have traded a 2026 5th-round pick and a 2027 4th-round pick.
Don't get too excited about this trade, Roy.
For Garnet Hathaway of the Philadelphia Flyers and a 2026 6th-round pick. So the Panthers have themselves a 4th-line winger.
Now, I know what you're asking. Why is Roy telling me this? This could be a move before the move.
Okay.
Yep.
This could get the wheels in motion for Evan Rodriguez being traded, which is widely expected at this point.
Okay, so what happened here? Because I was very distracted at how unenthused Roy was about this trade.
Well, it's not just that. It was also a player that most people have never heard of in their entire lives. But Philadelphia is retaining 50% of that salary too, by the way. But the reason why this may be newsworthy, and I'm not arguing its merit, I'm just defending my boy Roy here. It could be a move before the move.
Okay. All right.
Well, a move before the other move.
The move that we're hoping is Connor Hellebuck.
We're hoping it's Connor Hellebuck.
Yeah. What kind of number is he going to bring in? Because obviously you guys have been talking about Bob getting
Hellebuck?
3 for 42.
He makes over $8 million a year.
Is it comparable where it's like, why not get this guy? Or do you want to just like sign the guy that you've already had?
No, you want Hellebuck because he's younger and better.
Mm-hmm.
Are you not a proud American? Did you not see
it's
what
hard.
he did?
I know, I'm saying, but it's harder to get him because he's got a no trade clause. Unless
Oh, no,
you
but
trade to the
he
Panthers, you'll waive
appears
it.
to be trying to move himself to Florida.
The confusing part for me is why they would give him up for only like an Evan Rodriguez and a Boquist. Like 2 bottom 6 guys. Why would they? I get it from our perspective, but why would they do that?
Leverage right now, he's a disgruntled superstar, and what's happening with the American stars.
I mean, it's hard to believe.
In Canadian franchises post gold medal game.
Yep.
Is something worth looking at.
Yep.
A lot of the reports were, man, Brady Tkachuk's behavior changed after the gold medal game, and I understand it, especially for a guy that has for years openly discussed this with his family. Let's get real. But the change isn't just on Brady Tkachuk's end. And it's certainly not just on Connor Hellebuck's end. He just played well in a gold medal
Austin
game.
Matthews, for that matter.
There is something going on with the Canadian fan bases and these Americans. Now, I know that there's more to it than just international rivals. It's how they behaved. It's what they did after. This country is not on the best of terms right now, politically speaking, with Canada. So I understand why co-signing the government here is an issue for Canadians. But
Mike, how much
this is a two-way road.
How much does it factor in where, all right, Florida's a great team. Carolina just won the Stanley Cup. They were in the Stanley Cup final against Vegas. And these Canadian teams, you know, Connor Hellebuck wants out of Winnipeg. Brady Tkachuk just wanted out of Ottawa. And those winters, and hockey's a winter sport, man, you know, starts up in October and they play into, you know, regular season in April. And those winters are a mother effer in Canada. And you see these good teams, Vegas, Carolina, Florida, Tampa, for instance, like, man, be really nice to walk around in sandals every now and then during the season.
Especially when you're getting the type of media attention that guys like Brady Tkachuk got, Connor Hellebuck, Mitch Marner, who's not American. Mitch Marner was getting a ton of heat from the local media over there, and he was entertaining Sunbelt teams and ultimately landed in Vegas. There's something to the life that these markets afford, especially when you're in Canada and in some respects you're the only pro team that is occupying that city. The attention and responsibility that comes with the sweater over there, as opposed to other markets here where you can live fairly anonymously.
It goes back to a conversation we had yesterday about like what level of fame is a good level of fame, and I really feel like it's the older I get, I guess, the more I'm like, hey, being famous, like, it's awesome in some ways, like a little bit of like celebrity, but being like a real celebrity where you can't go anywhere, the trade-off for the amount of money that it requires for it to be worthwhile, I don't know.
Are you saying you have the perfect level of fame?
I really like my level of notoriety.
Nice spot. Hey, ESPN, every once in a while.
It's like every day, probably every day that I go out, someone says something, and it's like a level of either like, did I go to high school with you? I get that sometimes. Yeah. And then it's someone, sometimes it's like ESPN, right? And then there's occasion where someone's like, I really
Charlie
like
Kravitz show.
Yeah, they actually recognize me. They know my name. I get called Foxworthy too much, though. Entirely too much. Like, Jeff Foxworthy ain't made a joke in forever. Let it go, guys.
Just terrible.
Let it go. We don't
There's
look
your sign.
Is that what he said? I thought he was a redneck.
I thought that was like his, and there's your sign.
You might be a redneck.
He was, you might be a redneck.
I thought that was there's your sign. I'm going to look
That was a different guy, I think. But anyway, I like...
Damn it, it was Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah. No. I like this level. This is a good level. And also because at this age, I am in the perfect...
Bill Engvall. Bill Engvall. Sorry. As you were.
No, like young people, don't really like... Teenagers don't really mess with me. They don't know me. I don't know them. It's just like people my age and older. Perfect. Dudes. What up, bro?
So you'd rather have your life than, say, Stephen A's life?
Of course.
Of course.
Have you seen the way that guy walks in the garden, though?
Hold on. I mean,
you could never walk in the garden that way.
I don't think you guys appreciate how challenging Stephen A's life actually is. Like,
Probably really annoying all the time.
Yeah, I think that there's
every airport.
Everyone thinks about someone's life and they're like, how much money they got. Stephen A has a lot of money.
He must fly private, right?
His last hit with us, I believe, was from a public airport.
Maybe. But, I mean, he does everything else public. And also, that man works so much.
Right, that's the part to me. Like, you think Stephen A has an afternoon where he just binge watches TV? I don't think so.
The guy doesn't even have time
I want to imagine that.
It is TV.
I do want to imagine him watching a show. What do you think he would watch, though? If he had, like...
He watches himself
just
on
a
General
Sunday,
Hospital.
there's no sports on. What's he
I know
watching?
my guy.
What's he binging?
Yeah, I mean, he's a soap guy, right? He's into soaps.
Reality TV? Like he's watching Love Island, right?
No chance. No
You don't think so?
No way.
Like if he had a chance to just turn his brain off and watch something stupid?
No, I think it's soaps. It's not Love Island. Like
Watching
that-
himself on soaps, like Tony said?
That's what I'm saying. Have you seen the one where he comes into the room and the person's there on the gurney, like about to die, and the nurse is about to kill him with some sort of like syringe, and he comes in with a gun? Have you seen that
Well,
video?
he's like an assassin, right?
Yes, in General Hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dominique, have you seen the video?
Of course I've seen it.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it is incredible. He's a lifesaver. But I do think that there's a trade-off for the amount of money for that lifestyle. And I think if you need money, you're looking at Stephen A's life like, yeah, that's perfect. But if like you're comfortable, you're probably looking at Stephen A's life like, it'd be cool for a little bit.
Yeah, he doesn't
but
have any time for leisure. There's no relaxing.
Yeah, but he's got money.
All right, but
to do what with?
When he's done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he does plenty of things. I'm not saying his life is bad.
I think he's
but-
all right.
So I get this a lot. Tell Stephen A, shut the F up. Like, I get that a lot. What do you think Stephen A gets? He just walking through the streets? Like, I don't want that. I walk through most of my life like a normal guy.
I don't think people the things that they think they would say to Stephen A if they saw
Oh,
him.
no,
I don't think they're saying.
Hey, NATO's not a line item.
Per Shams Charania, free agent guard Kobe White intends to sign a 3-year, $74 million deal to return to the Charlotte Hornets.
It's a common misconception. When people say we contribute way more to NATO, they don't realize it just means that we're spending more on our military and we want other countries to spend just as much. It's a common misconception from conservatives.
Far away from the Mike Liberal guy?
It's new.
Did you see? Did you see? I meant to bring this up yesterday. All right, because 2 days ago, and you know, certainly Dominique and I are of a certain age, but 2 days ago, you want to feel old, right?
Oh, we're old.
30 years ago, to the day 2 days ago, so 30 years plus 2.
I'm already lost.
All right, start over.
Which
All
one's
right.
the mid-level?
30 years ago plus 2 days. The anniversary.
I gotta say,
yeah.
You could just hit him with 30 years ago.
Okay, 30 years ago. 30-year anniversary. 30-year anniversary of the N64.
Oh.
My first console ever.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say that too.
No way. I mean,
it was a Sega Genesis.
Yeah, I got that. Oh, when that Sega Genesis was under the tree. And also, I had a friend who had the Nintendo before I had the Sega Genesis. I used to go over there all the time.
Like regular Nintendo, OG Nintendo.
Not the N64 was fun, GoldenEye and all that, but the memories from playing at his house, I thought he was so rich because he had the power pad in the glove.
Ooh.
We were playing track. We had the glove on. That was
Yeah.
absolutely. It made every game harder to play and terrible, but it was cool because you could put your hand in the glove. It was awesome.
What Nintendo has always done so well is they've always prioritized the gaming experience over graphics and other types of platforms that just try to blow you away with their power. They always wanted to keep it fun, and I just
Well, yeah,
remember-
like when you originally bought the Nintendo, what did it come with? It came with the gun and Duck Hunt.
I just remember having the greatest time playing that console. It's my favorite console of all time just because of the experiences I had, shared experiences playing the game. Of course, it goes to GoldenEye, which is GOAT. N64 GoldenEye.
That was your first console, N64?
No, my first console was a Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
You were a Genesis guy.
Ninja Gaiden, baby.
I was always a Nintendo guy.
Well, you got to get a divorce, my friend. One of the parents has a Sega, the other parent has a SNES.
Sonic. I was a big Sonic guy.
Now, I had the original Nintendo, of course, but
double dribble. You a lot of double dribble.
Of course, I had double
shoot
dribble.
it from the crack. You shoot it from the
course.
crack. You never miss.
Of
Shoot it
course.
from where? Yep.
Of course, I had double dribble. But I did have something before the original Nintendo.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, you're older than me.
You know about that Texas Instrument?
Oh shit! The
calculator?
TI? The TI?
No, not the calculator.
You were playing with calculators?
No.
I genuinely didn't know there was another thing that wasn't the
Of
calculator.
course.
Well,
80085.
Nice.
Atari.
I had the OG Texas Instrument.
What does that even mean?
That was the console. It was a video game console.
No, it wasn't.
What'd you play?
I think I had Space Invaders.
Can add 1, 3, and another 5, and it's boobies.
Yeah, that's the only Texas Instrument I had.
Texas Instrument made something
No, it didn't.
before calculators.
There was Atari was the first one. There
Yep.
was nothing before Texas. I mean,
Yes, there was.
Atari, there was Sega and Nintendo.
Let me see if I could even look it up.
There was
here.
not a Texas Instrument calculator game.
What'd
Like,
they
that's
call
crazy.
it? Just Texas Instrument?
Well, that I
Console?
don't remember, but video's looking up the OG Texas Instrument console for me. But that's what I had. I had that before because Nintendo came out like maybe 86-ish, 85, 86, and you could see right there. Look at that right there, Dominique. Texas
Send
Instrument
somebody to the moon on that
TI-99. I had that. That was it.
It
That's
has
a calculator.
keyboard.
It's not a calculator.
It had a full keyboard.
Nope.
You can't play a game on that.
Those are the controllers, and you have the game console right there on the right where you stuck it in.
I'm just learning about this.
Yeah.
It had a keyboard.
I truly don't understand what I'm looking at.
That was it for the video audience. There it is,
It
TI-99.
looks like a polygraph machine.
And you were definitely lying right now about that being your first console. You're not that much older than me. I never even heard of this.
What year were you born?
83.
I'm 81. Well,
I mean, Atari was a thing. I know
Of
Atari.
course,
We didn't
of
have
course.
Atari. One of my older cousins had Atari. It was cool at the time, but I never knew Texas Instrument had a gaming console.
Juju, put it on the poll. Did you know that Texas Instrument was a gaming console?
So Nintendo had Mario, Sega had Sonic, Texas Instrument. Their like
I don't know.
go-to mascot was.
I mean, I think I had Space Invaders, but
It's an
I
Excel
don't know.
sheet. You had to fill it in. Oh, damn it. The boss needs it now.
They had a less popular guy, Larry the Hobo.
Whoa.
It was a different time.
Good times.
Yeah, PlayStation had Crash Bandicoot. Texas Instruments, Larry the Hobo.
30 years, N64. It's a little weird. The
Crazy.
controller was so big.
It wasn't big. It was perfectly sized. You can move it over, move your hand over to one where you're
You
doing
had
something
3
else.
places to hold it, but I only got 2 hands. I need 3. What's going on here? It's a little weird, right? Yeah. I never owned N64. I obviously
You didn't
Texas
own
Instrument.
N64?
Nope.
I
had
didn't
Nintendo.
either.
GoldenEye?
No, I had Nintendo. I had Super Nintendo.
G would have loved the wrestling game. You remember the N64 wrestling game?
Yeah,
that was.
WCW versus NWO Revenge.
Yeah, yeah.
WrestleMania 2000.
My friend had that in college, and we used to play. Yeah, my roommate maybe. Yeah, we used to play that. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I was in college late 90s. I was still an age you played wrestling video games, right?
You're
Anyone?
only 2 years older than me. You must have been extra smart. You were in college playing GoldenEye. I feel like I was in middle school playing.
He wasn't
GoldenEye.
extra smart because he went to Santa Fe Community College.
Yep.
Not true. I went to the University of Florida. I have a degree.
Yeah, you transferred there from Santa Fe.
If my life depended on showing you where Santa Fe Community College is, I'd be dead. I don't know where it is.
That's right. It's Thursday Thunder. It's presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Juju.
Yes, sir, man. Thursday Thunder. What's this, you ask? Oh, just my winnings from last week's Thursday Thunder. Neither here nor there. But this week, we finna replicate it. You dig it? First leg, my big dog, Dominique Malanga, for 15 points. Watch your head because she would dunk on your ass too. You dig? Second leg, my other sister, Jessica Shepard, for over 12 points tonight. She's a catalyst, and they've had the Aces number the last couple times they played them. I'm thinking 2 or 3. Lock that in for the second leg. You dig? And last leg, between cross behind the back, Hezzy, layup, Zaya Cook for 8 points tonight with the Seattle Storm. Man, lock this one in. We on the roll right now, baby. The crown is yours.
Okay, there you go. Juju, give me some thoughts here on what we were talking about earlier today with Caitlyn Clark and you know, A, not being on the WNBA poster. What do you make of that? 30-year commemorative poster. And then the stuff that took place last night with Alyssa Thomas.
Yeah, the commemorative poster, I think, is what Dom said earlier. A lot of them situations be kind of out of the player's control for real. It's them agents that step in and be like, ho, 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 what we doing here? I didn't get the voicemail. I didn't get the invoice, and we take them off that way. So that's much to do about nothing to me. But last night, the referees dropped the ball. This is the second time they played each other this week. And the first time on Monday, it was a lot of smack talking, pointing at each other, technical fouls, and DeWanna Bonner having that history with the Fever, forcing her way out because she was uncomfortable with how things were running in that organization. I think the referees got to take control of that game. It was no foul call on that Alyssa Thomas play. It was nothing. They have to step in.
Yeah, not a good look. You know, and of course the coach Stephanie White was really angry about it after the game.
Sure.
Yeah. Juju, what do you make of the LaMelo Ball trade? Earlier today, LaMelo Ball, he is traded kind of out of nowhere from Charlotte to Minnesota. What do you got?
Yeah, the most surprising part to me was I was thinking Naz Reid was going to be a centerpiece for the Timberwolves moving forward. It's a lot of people walking around to Minnesota with Naz Reid tattoos right now. They have to kind of put an edit button on that guy because he is now a Hornet. I don't know if it's going to work long term because you see those dynamic personalities don't necessarily always mesh, but Ant-Man is a phenomenal talent. You got another lobber, tosser to Rudy Gobert. It might work. The same way we're doing with the Heat. I'm going to wait and see the rest of their moves.
All right. Juju, you have an award for us today before we get to the polls?
I do got an award today, man, for the best guest of the entire week award. My brother, Dominique Foxworth.
Wow. Good for you.
Flawless transition.
Good job,
The audience love you. You have so much chemistry with my brother Zaz. We might need a buddy cop movie soon.
Wow.
Zaz makes it easy, man. It's impossible not to be good with Zaz. He's so fun.
There you go.
Handsome, talented.
All right.
And also the Substitute Teacher Award, the biggest apple of them all, to my brother Zaslow, man.
Crews never work together.
Good job.
Wow. How about that?
Nice job.
Thanks, everyone.
Fill the role.
Yes,
Excellent.
sir, man.
Let's do some polls here, Juju. What do we got today?
Were there aliens in the movie Interstellar? I'm sorry, Tony. 71% of the audience says no, there was not.
What movie did the other 29% watch?
The one where the people from the future are considered aliens in the Tesseract thing in the bookcase.
Hello.
Does Zaz look like Does Zaz look like radio host Malone? 88% of the audience says yes, he does.
I can see that.
Or Zaz the shocker. Is Pablo the best hobnobber and the best? Hold on, I'm gonna start over. I'm not used to reading the word hobnob. Is Pablo the best hobnobber in the history of hobnobs? 92% of the audience says yes, he is.
All-time hobnob.
Never
Would you be nervous to ask Oprah for a picture?
Yeah.
69% of the audience says yes, they would be.
Nice.
Here's the big one. What are you best at being? An employee, a spouse, a parent, or a friend? 36% of our audience says a friend.
Oh. What came in last, if you have it in front of you?
Lastly was a spouse.
Yeah.
For our audience?
I mean, it requires a lot of people to be married, too.
Yeah.
That might be
Right.
NA for a lot of people voting.
And last poll, did you know that the Texas Instrument was originally a gaming console? 94% of the audience says no, and those are your polls.
How about that? Good job, Juju.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
See y'all. Never.